Welcome to The Lady Killers, a feminine rage podcast. Hello, and welcome to The Lady Killers, a feminine rage podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer's Body Adams, and I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I've taken some time on my private island with my chickens to really just pause and reflect and take accountability. I'm really taking ownership of my actions. And, you know,
ownership.
taking ownership.
Take accountability.
I'm ready to take accountability. And, you know, none of us are perfect. Now I'm going to switch into Tyra, you know, and the world's going to come for you one day.
We were rooting for Jen.
We were rooting for you.
We were rooting for you.
So, yes, you know what? Are you having a good time now?
Yeah. I mean, the jury's still out on that.
Yeah,
We'll see by the end.
Yeah. So, in case you can't tell by my just weirdness and saying a whole bunch of word salad.
Inauthentic apology.
Yes, performative, some might say. We are talking about Zoe Kravitz's Blink Twice. I bet you $1 million I will call it Don't Blink at some point in this episode.
I've done it so many times. And I honestly, we could cover that movie because it does have a lady killer in it and a turkey baster scene.
Which is Don't Blink.
It does.
No, that's Don't Speak.
No, I thought that was Don't Blink.
Don't Blink.
No?
Okay, hold on. You're talking about
What
the one...
movie are we talking about
I'm talking about the one
today?
where he's blind.
The turkey baster. No, what is that? What is that
And they
one?
break in and
Yeah,
he
that's
can't
Don't
see.
Blink, right?
I'm losing my mind right now. Don't
I feel
Blink
crazy.
movie. 24
Movie with
nope, that's
turkey
no.
baster.
No.
Stop, Jen, you're
Don't breathe. We got it.
Don't breathe.
I can't. People are probably screaming.
I would have
right
sung
now
in
at
that
us.
ship with you, Sammy. I
Oh
was like,
my
it's Don't
God.
Blink. It's
I'm
Don't Blink.
embarrassed because I really love that movie. Well,
I do
anyways,
too. Oh yeah,
we're
we
not
can cover
breathing.
that.
We're not blinking.
Yeah, we're not
Certainly
speaking.
not twice. Yeah.
Don't
We
blink.
speak here.
I know
Don't speak
what
no
you're
evil.
blinking.
Yes.
Yes, so that's what we're covering.
Oh.
But I'm not alone. I'm joined by a fabulous group of women clad in white on a villa
None of us are wearing
island with
white.
me. I know none of us
I
are.
didn't
It's
even
like,
think about it.
I
We
honestly
should have.
almost put on white because I have another dress that I didn't use for my second dress, like change into that was like shorter to dance in, and it has a bow on the back, and it's Betsy
And there's a
Johnson
bow
too.
on the back.
Yeah,
Oh
it
my
was perfect.
God.
Maybe I'll break it out to show it to you guys after, but
Yeah.
I realized that after being in your pajamas all day, the last thing you want to do is kind of like shift
put on
your
a
body
It
into a
feels
tight
gross.
dress. And as I
Yeah.
said off mic, this is a no bra pajama bottom day.
Yeah.
And I wasn't feeling it. I didn't want to get hit with the body dysmorphia later. So
Yep,
You know,
I feel you.
no white
I
dress
get it.
today. I wore
think
a
if
white
there's-
dress
I get
enough
it.
last year.
If there's ever an episode that says fuck underwire, I think it's this episode because
Yes.
underwire is a tool
Yeah.
of the patriarchy.
And it hurts.
It really
and
is.
they
It
give me
hurts.
panic attacks now
It
because
pokes
I never
you.
wear them.
Yeah, but you could use it to free yourself if you're ever trapped on a shark boat with a serial killer. So,
That is true.
According to
That's
Dangerous
true.
Animals.
according to Dangerous
Yes.
Animals, of
Which is-
course,
Which
yes.
is a documentary film.
about
is.
shark boats.
Yes, Nat Geo actually
Shark boat and
released
murders.
it.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyway, so yes, I'm joined by a fabulous panel of lady killer vacationers. Shelby, say hello and tell us, are you a perfume girl?
Hello, I'm Shelby Novak, and I have a bunch of hair
Yes!
in this lip gloss
Yes.
to
Props!
as
Yes,
a
we love
signal
it.
for myself later. Perfume girl. I'm really sensitive to perfume, and so I have found I do have 3 in my bathroom that I use because I have to when I find one that doesn't give me a headache, I have to cling to it.
Yes.
And one of them, which is the more expensive one, it's Roses by Chloe, was discontinued this year.
No.
Chloe,
I know,
is it the CHLOE one?
Yes.
And
yes.
it's kind of in this shape.
It is. They have a few
Yeah.
different ones. It's specifically the rose one though, and they discontinued it. And so I have it, like I have
Rude.
extras of it. But
Well,
yeah, so I'm like I wish I was. I'm an aspiring perfume girly if only my head would allow. So
Yeah. Your body rejects the perfume
Yes.
label.
Which
Yeah.
honestly, you'd be the
according to
first
this
to save
movie.
us in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would have
we
saved
need
you guys.
somebody
Yeah, I would have been the
immune
first
to
one to wake up.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I get migraines. Can you take this perfume out of my room?
They'd
Thank
probably
you.
find some way.
Some way.
Yeah, I know. There's, as we know, in the real world, there are other ways. So
Oh, yes,
they
there
would
are
find
other
other
ways.
ways.
Put
I
it
actually
in
have
the
a theory
vape
about the lip gloss because I wonder if it was in the lip gloss before, and that's why old her put the hair in the lip gloss.
Oh.
as,
To
like,
not use it.
to
Love
not
that.
use it.
Sarah.
I kind of. This
I
is like my
actually
third time
really
watching
like
this movie,
that.
and I was like, wait a minute.
Mhm.
Yes.
Ooh,
So anyway,
interesting.
sorry.
I'm thinking me likey.
No, you're
Yeah,
good.
I like that. Yeah.
Well, Sammy, do you like perfume? Also say hello.
This is Sammy, the fat blunt queen.
I thought you would
Rothman.
connect
I
to
almost
that.
said Kuykendall just because it fits my my last name as well too. And which is why I'm wearing my not shy, just high shirt today.
Ah, nice.
Love it.
And I made sure to take a couple tokes before because this movie, as despicable as some of the themes are, I love the girls so much, and
Oh,
the
yeah.
stoner girl is me through and through. Just the way she keeps sparking them up, and everyone is like, "Dude, we're good," and I'm like, I'm that girl. So I really related to her. And to answer your question, yes, I am a perfume girly. I love perfume, and I love this question. Unfortunately, Mike is a ultra bubble boy, and I have to be very particular about the scents now that I wear. So Flower Bomb by Victor and Rolf was my signature scent. He has gotten used to it over the years. It's been almost 8 years now. So like my mistake was when I first went to Chicago and then I left, I was like, I'm going to be super romantic and I'm going to spritz my perfume on his pillow. So he like will smell me when I leave. And he broke out in hives like all over his body. So he didn't forget me, but it was not in a good way.
Oh my gosh.
So I did not use it for a while, but then I slowly started introducing it back. So I got some on, for like the time in between. This I got for Christmas. It's Ariana Grande's
I've heard good things about
the
that
Wicked
one.
perfume.
Yes.
It's delicious. I specifically asked for it because I saw the bottle and I put it on my wish list, not knowing how it smelled, which is very risque for me. It's very flowery, so a little bit goes a long way. And then this is okay, so I'm watching Love Story, which is one of my Sammy Corner shares with you guys what I'm watching for later. And this is Carolyn Bassett's signature perfume. It's from Namat. I don't know, I'd never heard of it, right?
Ooh.
Okay, this little bottle was like $30, which considering who she is, this is kind of an affordable scent.
Yeah, I was not have expected that.
It's in every
Yeah.
magazine. Like if you this is her scent. Like in the show, people are like, "Oh, you smell so good," and it's because of this. And like they've been selling out
What
of
are
it.
the notes? I need to know.
I really like it. Okay, so
Yeah, we'll put it in the show notes if I can remember.
Yeah, the notes in the show
definitely-
notes.
It has like I just rolled it right on my nose, so I will be smelling it the rest of the episode. It has like a musk to it. It's not florally at all. Like it smells like
I knew it. I could have guessed that just based on her vibe, you know?
it's like a smell that you can't really place. It like her, she's very mysterious.
like
so it's like
her,
like you would
yes.
smell it and kind of like drift to it, but it's strong in a way that is not like sweet. It's almost like masculine smelling. Like it almost could pass as like a cologne, but it has it's still a girl perfume, so I really like that one. I've been wearing that one a lot, and as I said, I will be smelling it the rest of the episode. And this is my Taj Mahal of perfumes. She is the discontinued Wanderlust by Taylor Swift. They have discontinued this since I think like 2014, 2013.
Wow.
Mike got the this on eBay. I have another smaller one, and it came with a lotion. This was the scent I wore on my wedding, so it was very special to me. It came with all of these like little charms on it. I love it. I am like obsessed with it. I smelled it like because my sister-in-law, Mike's brother's wife, they were having a birthday party at her parents' house in Florida, and we were there for their son's birthday party, and it was the house that she grew up in. So this was there, like a bottle that had just always been there. And I, of course, being the Snoopy girl I am, was like, "Oh, let me smell this." And then I saw it was Taylor's, and I loved it. So Mike found it on eBay for me, and that is my current round of perfumes that are kind of in and out right now. So yes, I like a good smell. Aroma, if you will.
You do always smell really good. I always
Well,
do notice
thank
you smell
you.
really
I'm
good.
so
Not to
glad.
be weird, but you
No,
do.
this is why I do it. I love to smell good. Like I also have they're really popular at Sephora. They're like in like the yellow kind of sprays. They're like body sprays.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm
I know
talking
what you're talking
about?
Yes,
It's
I
really,
do.
it smells really good. They're really
I can
popular.
see the rack, and I just can't think of the
Yes.
name. Yes.
And I was really into like the Victoria's Secret scents, like
I loved
Amber
those.
Love, I think it was called. I really liked. So yeah, I've been a big fan of smelling good for my entire life. My mom kind of like put that in me. Like we were always lathering ourselves up with some type of lotion or smell good. So it was kind of a tragedy to find out that Mike was allergic to everything because now my soap and all of my detergents are all, safe like skin. So it smells like nothing. But that's why I have my perfumes. Yeah.
That's a man ruining the party again.
So yeah, typically I smell like weed and Taylor Swift perfume. So
Nice.
I like that.
You could smell like worse things, I think.
I would, yes, thank you.
It's true. What about you, Jen? Are you a perfume girly?
I have been kind of in and out. Not really. I am more just I have anxiety and paranoia, and I am afraid that I stink. So that's when I tend to use it.
Spritz.
I like the Bath and Body Works stuff. But for a while I was using Philosophy scents. I like their Grace line. Like Amazing Grace is the one that I used a lot, but I also like
it's
Baby
subtle.
Grace and Pure Grace. Yeah, it's just really soft. I don't like overwhelming scents.
Me neither.
'Cause they just, and I don't like super flower. Like I'm just not really a flowery girl, So yeah, I really like that one, but I usually just I'm afraid I smell bad.
Yeah, I like. You know what? I actually, because I'm sensitive, I do like body sprays because they dissipate faster, which is one reason a lot of people hate them. But that's I just want it. I wanted it at a baby shower raffle.
It's like the flavor without.
But I got a margarita one from Bath and Body Works, and it's like so fun and summery, and I'm like, oh my god, and it doesn't give me a headache. So yeah, I love a body spray.
Win-win. And Jen, if it makes you feel any better, many times I've been around you, I have never thought Jen fucking stinks.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not like
never
super
even
paranoid.
So much has crossed my mind. So
well, thank
to
you.
ease that, because I get it as a fellow paranoia girly.
I
typically just smell myself and go, "Oh, I stink."
Yeah, well,
or
it's like if I haven't taken a shower or I just secret smoked because I was hanging out with
you're
my
aware
of it.
Conventions is when I secret smoke the most, and then I meet people, and I'm like, oh god, I know, I just smell like convention and like
honestly,
smoke.
Given what conventions smell like,
that's why I get more paranoid. Though,
no, are you kidding me, Shelby? You are like a grace from God at the convention.
True.
As far
Can't
as
confirm.
As far as smells go, at the very least, okay. So no.
In the
I will
smell
take that
category,
over comic book
you're doing
guide.
good.
The Bloody Disgusting booth does not stink. You can come see us if your nose needs a
should.
break. It smells lovely.
I take it upon myself to make sure that area is BO free. So you heard it here first, guys. Yeah, I can't say that for the rest of the convention center, but I can.
You know who I've been?
No guarantees.
That's true. Yeah, maybe
come
farts
over.
in other
we
booths.
Don't stink. Yeah,
we don't
actually,
stink. Our booth is delightful. You should come see
Lady
us.
killers don't fart.
They know.
No, we don't. We take a special pill for that. So.
Perverted.
You know who does fart though? These fucking men.
Yeah,
that's right.
Island.
We have a whole movie to talk about. Look at us.
I bet they've
Rachel's
got a whole bunch of
for
BO
1 week.
I know.
And
we're like talking about stinky and smells, but like that's I had to bring. At least I did show and tell corner early. So.
That's true. Yeah. Yes. We always love show and tell corner.
What will we bring next week? What will
we?
Wait up.
Who knows?
Don't know. I never know.
I can't even remember what we're covering next week. So
I will find out at the end of the episode.
We'll find out at the end of the episode.
Sometimes I do. Yeah. Sometimes I fully forget, and I'm like, oh, that's what we're doing.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Yes.
I do have it written down. Never fear, listeners. We do know. It's just
we do know.
I took a forgetting
a
perfume
gist of what's happening.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
So,
the
you know.
perfume.
it's the
I
perfume,
rubbed
the
it on
perfume.
myself. That's why I don't know.
I'm just
Yeah.
gonna start blaming everything on the perfume.
Blink.
Like,
I'm
oh,
blinking.
forgot to do your taxes.
Yeah.
Perfume. Sorry.
Perfume.
Of course, that is a joke because I wouldn't. My household would never forget to do our taxes.
No. Not
Or
when
he
you live
does-
with the tax man. No.
Dude,
Yeah.
he does those things the second he gets all of our information, which is great. Everyone should do your
Yay,
taxes
Corey.
early.
Do your
Yay,
taxes.
Corey.
Yay, Corey.
Yeah, and Corey would also never be caught dead on this island because he is a good
No.
one. So
Mhm.
let's talk about the shitty men who are on this island and the awesome girls who try to take them out. In our first category, her story.
I am so much happier now that I'm dead. Technically missing. Soon to be presumed dead. Gone. And my lazy, lying, cheating, oblivious husband will go to prison for my murder.
And this is a section where we tell the story of the film. Spoilers abound, so listen at your own risk. I don't know why I did. And this is the story where we're loving
I
it.
like it. I
Well,
love
thank
it. We're on
you.
video. We have to give it a little bit more.
We gotta
now
give it a
these
little-
days,
Yeah,
okay?
a little more
Yeah.
sauce.
Give him a
Yeah.
little zhuzh.
Okay, before we start, huge hard turn. I want to give a content warning. We are going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
talking about sexual assault in this episode. This is a rape revenge movie. So I like normal, we're not going to get too in the details of it. We're not going to get too like grisly, but I just wanted to warn you that is what this movie is about. So
I tried to go as light as I could because I could go far darker in this episode.
Same.
And I
Yes.
do go a little dark in some of my notes, but I definitely don't turn off the lights fully. So
yes, no, we keep it light. We keep it
We try
moving
to.
and yeah. So
crystal light over here.
Crystal light. But I did want to warn you listeners. So, okay. Frida and Jess are waiters struggling to pay rent when they're assigned to work the annual Slater King banquet. He's a tech billionaire who's taken some time off after being called out for a mysterious man infraction, but he's willy sorry. I
Willy
promise.
sorry.
I
Mhm.
promise I won't do it again.
No,
I
never.
am so sorry.
So
Times
That
500.
scene though, like, is
it's
I'll
very
be
good. I love
honest,
that. No, I love
like
that
I was like,
scene.
Channing Tatum's got it. Like, and I've
Oh.
always like known that because She's the Man is just a perfect
Yeah.
film. But like that's the movie that he should be known for. But that scene in particular, like even when I was watching it last night, I was like, I found myself really uncomfortable, and I
Yeah.
think that's telling to the talent behind this film and
Oh, great.
the way that I will feel about it as we get into it, because it's a fucking
Yes.
phenomenal scene.
Oh, yeah. My question, and we can talk about it in a little bit, but my question was almost, are you a Channing Tatum fan? Because he is so fucking scary.
Oh,
in
yeah.
this movie.
He's and
Yeah.
I've never seen him play a role like
Same.
this.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, I'm glad that he can play a bad guy, you know,
Mhm.
and like
and I'm
can
glad that he
play-
will.
Yes,
Yeah.
and like that was his fiance at the time, Zoe
Mhm.
Kravitz. So it's like I'd imagine that they kind of were working together on this a little bit. I think he might be a producer, so I think that just says a lot. Like I'm happy to know that he's not involved in the things that are going on.
Yes.
I guess.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
to say the least.
And I would say the same about all the men in this movie. Like I'm
Yes.
I'm happy.
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
They got the assignment and they did it well.
Mhm.
Okay, so Frida and Jess crash the banquet and hit it off with Slater and his entourage. In fact, it goes so well that Slater invites the girls to accompany the group for a vacation on his private island with chickens. The island is incredible, and he's got everything the girls need, including white bathing suits to hang by the pool and white goddess dresses for fancy dinner every night. He's even provided them with a signature perfume in their private cabanas. Oh, and there's a ton of drugs and booze. Frida and Slater grow closer while Jess gets to know the other girls who've been similarly invited to party with the boys. But on a particularly debaucherous night, Jess gets bit by a venomous snake. She's not going to die, but she does start feeling uncomfortable on the island and wants to go home. The next morning, she's gone. And Frida is the only one who even remembers she exists. Luckily, Sarah, another guest of the boys, finds a lighter with Jess's name on it, while Frida finds a chef's knife Jess told her to hide. They start to realize that they've put themselves in danger and don't really know anybody on this island, and all of the girls are in a similar position, so bad news.
That realization was so terrifying the first time I saw this when she was like, no, you know
Absolutely.
these guys, right? And she's like, no, I don't know these guys. And it was like,
Mhm.
And I love that they both kind of admitted in that moment, like, oh, this was not
We fucked
smart.
up. We
Yes.
fucked up.
This was not
Oops.
smart. But also that I had seen other women and assumed it was safe, you know?
That's how they get you. I have a
Mhm.
lot
I have
on
chills
that
at
when
you,
we
like,
go
saying
on.
that.
Yeah,
I know.
like, it
Ugh.
really. I have a lot to say
Yeah.
on that. Is all
Yeah,
I'll say.
I know.
Yes. Okay, so they start to remember that they've put themselves in danger and drink a bunch of the harvested snake venom, hoping it will help them remember. It does, and they recover horrific memories of being sexually assaulted every night by the boys. It turns out the perfume makes them forget everything that's happened, and it's a rinse repeat of brutal rape that they forget all about the next day. Slater murdered Jess because she remembered everything. When the boys return from a fishing excursion, Frida and Sarah pretend everything's fine while hiding weapons around the patio. But all hell breaks loose when the venom they've been feeding fellow guests, Heather and Camilla, kick in. The girls take brutal revenge, killing and attacking some guys, but Slater's evil security man steps in. Heather and Charlotte die, while Sarah and Frida escape. That's when Frida finds a Polaroid of herself with long hair, indicating that she's been to the island before. In fact, she's got the scar on her forehead from an incident in which Slater attacked her, then made her forget last year. Sarah saves Frida from being shot by Slater's security guard, and the two storm the island's main lodge, but Slater is there and fights back. While Frida cowers in fear, he explains that she's his best friend and that no one will ever truly accept his apology, so he has to make them forget. Forgetting is a gift. It's a gift. It's a gift. He's essentially mansplaining forgetting to her. Yeah.
His stupid bitch of a sister wouldn't just forget. Like, what's wrong with her?
Just to be a bitch.
Just to be a bitch.
Corey and I say that from the office all the time. Just to be a bitch.
A bitch.
Like, there's no other reason we could do anything.
That could honestly be a new tagline of this show.
Just to be a bitch.
Just to be a bitch.
Just to be a bitch.
It's a just to be a
Sometimes
bitch
I find
podcast.
reasons to be. Yeah.
Yep. Hey, sometimes being a bitch is the
There
only
are
thing a woman has to hold on
crash
to.
outs, okay? Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
yes.
Yes, exactly. Thanks, Dolores Claiborne.
Yes. Oh, love her.
Can't wait for us to cover that.
We need to cover that one too, yeah.
One of these days.
One of these
We'll
days.
do the Eclipse movies.
So Slater is about to slit Sarah's throat when he suddenly starts coughing and can't remember where he is. It turns out Frida filled his vape pen with the perfume, and now he doesn't know what's going on. As the lodge burns down, he falls and knocks himself out. Sarah and Frida drag his body out to the lawn. Cut to the next Slater King gala. Frida is now his wife and is running shit. We see that she keeps him in a permanent state of confusion and has taken control of his vast empire.
Oh, it's the
Woo!
best.
I know. Fucking love
I
it.
love that it's like, because when we were watching it, like Mike had already seen it, but it's been a while, and he was kind of coming in and out, and he was like, "Wait, so Christian Slater's playing himself?" And I was like, "No, Channing Tatum's
Slater.
name is Slater."
I was wondering if that was inspired because
it is.
he was such a bad boy in the
coincidence.
90s too.
Specific
Yeah.
name, yeah.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah.
it does, and it also looks like Stephen King too. So that's like a funny, weird thing. But like, yeah, I died. I was like, and it took me a second to think of why he was saying that, and I was like, oh yeah, there is an actual man in this film named Christian Slater. So
Mhm. Oh,
who is also
dream
really good in
crush.
this.
He's
and, like,
fantastic, yeah.
like I love when
I love
like they
seeing
play
him.
a bad
Mhm.
boy, and
Me too.
I believe
I
it.
loved Kyle MacLachlan as such a bad guy.
Uh-huh.
Yes, and it's
The
such a
reveal at
small
the end
part.
when she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I remember you," and it's like he was
And
so
he's like-
terrified.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, I love it.
Mhm. Yeah, and I said
Yes.
Christian Slater was a bad boy in the 90s. He wasn't a bad boy like this that we
He
know of.
played a bad boy.
Yes,
He played
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah, see our
Yeah.
episode on Heathers. But I also think if
And
you're a
go to
man,
school.
you're not going to be in this movie if you're a shitty man. You know,
No, and it's
because-
interesting because there are so many people, including Gina Davis, who doesn't generally play bad people, and
Mhm.
all of a sudden she's like,
or do work really a lot lately.
Yeah.
Like
I
I don't feel like
know,
I've seen
so-
her in a big movie in a long time. So to come
the
out for this
cast
small
was
part,
very interestingly chosen.
Oh,
Like, which
absolutely.
is-
And I
yeah.
love it. Yeah. Especially for a freshman movie, too.
for
Yes.
sure. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Well, Shelby, what's your story with Blink Twice?
So I actually saw it for the first time when I was joining the Bloody Disgusting podcast. I promise this isn't just like a shameless plug. It was when I was joining
I
it.
shameless plug all the fucking time.
Yeah.
So Zena, my co-host on, which we'll have to have her as a guest sometime
Yeah.
here.
Yes.
She was like, do you like Blink Twice? I went ahead and saw it because she really liked it. And at the time, and I'm sure we'll talk about this, but it was very controversial. It was very internet coded to immediately write this movie off because of the sexual assault, which I honestly, upon watching it, I was not that it was not a difficult watch, but I was actually surprised at how tame it was compared to how the internet made it seem to be. I was actually appalled at the fact that the internet kind of turned on this movie so quickly and was like, no one should watch the time. You could go full like tinfoil hat about this. It's like, why was the internet trying to suppress this movie around this time? Like, that's pretty interesting that they were trying to get people not to watch it. And even MGM, when you watch it on Prime now, has a very big warning that
on Amazon,
movies with worse scenes in it do not have that same warning on it, which is like that.
I Spit on Your Grave doesn't have
I Spit on Your Grave doesn't have that. It does not.
And don't get me wrong, I know we're going to talk about that in our next category, but like, it is telling that like we are like, we have like movies like Texas Chainsaw Massacre that I think, we know at this point but like we've never, I don't know, there are movies like Hostel didn't have one, and
Terrifier
that's like
doesn't
way
have
more
a fucking
intense.
warning like this. Like, so
very intense.
So that is all to say that Xena and I bonded over the fact that we were both like, it's crazy that this movie got so suppressed, or like, I don't want to say suppressed, but like, it was gone after a lot on the internet by certain subsects of people. And so we did a whole deep dive. It was like it was the first deep dive we had done on the show, at least with me on there. And so we both like just bonded over loving this movie. And ever since then, I've seen it another time, I think for a different movie. Because I think because it got kind of pushed down, when people end up seeing it, they're like, this is real. I haven't met really anyone who was like, this was such a garbage piece of shit.
No,
I've
me
only
neither.
seen that on the internet.
Yeah.
Like not saying that they're not, I'm sure some people don't like this movie, but I've never met anyone when they're like, oh, I saw it and I actually like, people really like it. And it's a really great revenge movie. So yeah,
that's different too. Like, it's not just like, we killed everyone and it's done. Like, and again,
it's
I know
fun
we'll
and
talk about
funny
the ending,
too.
but it's super
funny. Oh my God, there were a few parts that made me laugh out loud, even after watching it so many times that I kind of forgotten about. There's so many amazing little things. It's got great rewatch value from the very second.
I wrote that down too. Yeah.
Yes, you are seeing things upon rewatch that it's like there are clues from the second the movie opens. It's crazy. And it's just, I think it's just so well done. Like you said, a freshman movie. Yeah. The directing, the scene we are all going to talk about soon, but that we all alluded to with him saying, I'm sorry. That was a great directing choice to let him keep going.
Yes.
I mean, and
it's one shot. She only did it once too.
Really.
And
because she didn't want it to seem inauthentic.
Yeah. And you can tell, as a director, like I'm not a director, but if I was one, I definitely would have thought to call it earlier. And I'm so glad she didn't. There's like almost a pause where you can tell he was kind of like expecting her to, but then
going?
He just keeps going. And it's just like, So that is my story with this movie. I love it.
Yeah, it's like that Good Will Hunting scene meets the ending of Pearl. It's like we keep going until you get to the real truth of it. And I just and it takes a lot of confidence to do that
for sure.
It does.
Oh, it sure is. Yeah. Well, Sammy, what's your story with Blink Twice?
So I saw this upon its release, but when it was digital. So I don't remember if it was in theaters. I think it's another example of one of those ones, kind of like Overlord, where it went to streaming really fast. Like I feel like I rented it fairly quickly after its release. But I loved it immediately, and not just for the themes, but like we're saying, it's directed incredibly well. Some of the color blocking and like the way the angles are, it's like a painting come to life. And I know that's so much
don't have color anymore.
No, they don't. It feels Technicolor, like because all the mansion, or I don't even know, like unit, the whatever it's called, like, cause it's
the
much
villa.
bigger than a house. The villa, exactly. The Vanderpump Villa.
The Vanderpump Villa.
I mean, honestly,
it basically, was Marciano like
was
there?
Marciano
like,
there?
Did they kiss?
He had something to do with this.
And look,
like,
I am caught
I need
up
to see
on
receipts.
Beverly Hills, and I'm not so thrilled with Lisa Vanderpump anymore. So,
well, you know what? Then neither am I.
Then neither am I.
And I don't even know who that is.
I'll jump on this bandwagon.
Yes.
Yeah,
she's the mom of Vanderpump Villa.
Women need to support women, and I support Jen.
Oh, thank you.
Not supporting
in my
Lisa
shady
Vanderpump.
opinion of a Real Housewife.
Yes.
We're not a cult. It's fine.
No.
She does like dogs, though. I'll give her that.
Okay.
Well,
people who are evil can like dogs.
That's true. Cruella de Vil. Well, she tried to kill.
She
dogs.
doesn't like them, Jen.
That's true. She likes
wants
some
to turn
things
them into
about this.
code. Jen. She's not the
Give my
biggest
wires.
fan of dogs. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, sorry, Sammy.
For
Carry on.
sure, for sure. But as I say, it does look like this Technicolor, like, and I know so much of that is the architecture that's already there, but the I don't know, I just really love some of the shots that she chose here, and as we said, in her directorial debut, and I think it's her screenwriting debut too. Like, I know she wrote it with someone else, but still. I think it's just such an engrossing story. Like I said, it does, like, you peel it like an onion, and it's told really brilliantly, and everything just sort of ties together in this like bloody little bow. And I love that. And I think, as we're going to talk about today, it is relevant in ways that make my skin crawl. And I have no doubt in my mind, Zoe was kind of told to stay away from certain celebrities in her youth. And I'm sure she used some of that to inspire this. There were some scenes that like took my breath away. Like that second shot of the lizard after the conflict is just like, wow, like knowing, like, because it's the first shot, and so now you know what it is. And like Shelby said earlier, I think that just like the title, this film is best viewed twice. Like so much foreshadowing. Her putting the money behind the mirror, and that's how we know. That's why she put the knife behind the mirror there. Like, so you're noticing things that like she would do that like will go on to help her, that we know that it's her doing it, because when you go in blind, you don't know who the bad guy is yet. It could be the villagers, or, you know, like the people who live on this island, like, because that's how they're kind of, there's a couple red herrings throughout that you're not really sure. So I did really enjoy watching this a second time. And I think it's just a really important look into what's going on in Hollywood, and not just Hollywood, but the world as a whole. And I actually think that people being underwhelmed by it, because I did see like either people flat out hate it or they love it like us, and I think the people who are underwhelmed by it is kind of a comment in itself. Like, we're so desensitized to the exploitation and rape of women in media and in real life that even seeing it with our own eyes won't push our society to make a change. And as we are seeing play out in America right now, you know, I think it's kind of crazy. I was actually just listening to an episode of Last Podcast on the Left where this like assistant for Epstein, like she during 2018 and 2019, she's a woman, and she was just let go from her job. And it's like, okay, well, we have no documentation that she did anything bad. She was just like, not that that's a good thing, but we have entire groups of people that are not being charged, or, you know, our president, and this woman who worked there for a year. Why are the women the only ones getting in trouble, I guess, is my question. So
well, it's the same thing with
that was dawning on me
Mormon
upon
wives.
this watch. And I have a lot, I even put that in my notes later on. So I do think it's a really important film. And Shelby, I do think I'm going to put my conspiratorial hat on and say that I don't think they wanted us to like this movie. I think they wanted to bury it because it's hitting a little too close to home for them. So
I think so too. Yeah.
And we need more of them. We need more of these. I wish I could broadcast this in Times Square. So.
We do, and we also need more female directors also.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Telling female stories, for sure.
And we need men, and I mean, I don't know a whole bunch about the backstory, but we need men like Channing Tatum who will take roles like this and support female directors and help. Of course, she's a Nepo baby, but I mean, I say that with love.
Still, though,
but she's a good Nepo baby. She's on the good side.
She Nepo babies for good.
Her parents are too cool to be like a normal Nepo baby.
Seriously.
Like, they're literally the coolest.
She's not like a normal
ever.
Nepo baby. She's like a
cool Nepo baby.
I feel like I'm like reading, you know, like in Us Weekly, and it was like, stars, they're just like us. And it's like Nepo babies.
Well, and
what
I mean when I say that too is like it's not like she's some lowly director that Channing Tatum like pulled out of obscurity. Like,
no,
she had the funds to get, but I appreciate the cast being willing to do this for a first time director too, especially like kind of a risky role like this. Like, cause this is a really impressive cast. We'll talk about it in a little bit, but I think, apparently I have a bit of a brand, and that is getting mad about the patriarchy, because every once in a while, who knew?
I'm aghast.
But every once in a while, there will be a movie, and I will have people reach out to me and say, "You need to go see this movie. This is a you movie. This is one of them."
For you.
The first person that reached out was Joe Lipsett, my co-host from Murder Made Fiction, and he had gone to see this at a screening. He also goes horror queers too. And he messaged me and he was like, "This is a you movie. You are going to want to write about it too," which I did. The other one, or the other recent one, was Weapons. A lot of people were like, "You need to go see Weapons," and they were right.
Movie.
Yeah. So I did. So I went to see this in theaters.
Have you seen Ready or Not 2 yet?
I have not. No.
I haven't seen it yet either. I know. I haven't.
I know. I'm gonna try.
guys.
It's tax season. I'm blaming tax season, but I'm gonna try to go see it this
no
weekend.
excuses. I'll go this weekend.
Yeah, because we're gonna have to cover that at some point.
Yes,
too,
and I actually really liked it, so I'm interested to hear, because like I was very much of the mind like that ending is perfect. Like this I don't want this, and then I was like,
I don't need it.
I warmed up to
Really?
it.
I mean,
I think I
always
like
need Elijah
it.
Wood, especially when we
And
got
he's
a
a
faculty
little
reunion.
freak, and I love when he's
That's
a
my
little
favorite
freak.
Elijah Wood.
Little freak Elijah
Little
Wood
freak
is the best.
Elijah.
Yes.
So yeah, I saw this in theaters and just loved it. And then I did write about this too on my old Fatal Femmes column that I don't write anymore. I wrote about this in defense of the ending because I remember part of the controversy was people getting mad about this ending.
They hate it.
So I've got some thoughts about it. But yeah, I love this movie. I agree with you. I think it's important, and I want Zoe Kravitz to make more movies. And I think that is also part of the benefit of Nepo baby stuff is you can take a risk like this.
Yeah.
You know, like she knows she's got a support system of like name people who are going to be there in her corner when she gets shit on for doing stuff like this.
And she doesn't have to worry, you know, like she's so in the public eye that, well, I mean, I say this, you know, knock on wood, but like, you know, she can make things like that and like this and like won't accidentally fall off a building, you know, or like, you know,
yeah,
she's got
dating
Harry
Styles
like,
right
yeah,
now,
she's got
right?
stuff to do. Yeah.
It's, I think that's, I, if I'm being honest, I think it was a bit of a PR move,
Okay.
the Harry Styles thing, because she was having stuff come out and then he has his album that's coming out. It definitely worked for them both. And then they weren't really seen together again after that.
That
so,
man loves a PR relationship.
Yes, he
he's
does.
the king of them. Yeah. And I don't think that Channing Tatum and her were that. I do think that they
No, they were
used it
engaged, I
mutually,
think.
yeah, to their advantage.
Yeah.
And then they didn't get separated or, you know, like break up until like a while after this movie. So I'd like to think that it wasn't. But you never know in the world of Hollywood.
Yeah. And
That
well,
Liam
there's
Neeson,
been
Pam
no
Anderson thing, I think, broke
Oh my
us.
God.
Yeah.
That devastated me.
Yeah.
That devastated me.
And it was smart. It was not real. Jen,
What?
did
Jen,
you not
did
know
you
that?
not know?
Jen,
Oh,
no.
yeah. They came out. They said it. Like,
Yeah.
they
I'm telling
admitted
you
it.
guys,
Yeah.
a lot of these
Wait,
are.
Is love even real?
It's not.
I don't
It's
think
not
so. In my
Hollywood,
opinion, I don't think so.
You know,
Sorry.
and mark my words.
I've never seen
the
it.
football player and the
proven.
pop star aren't in love either, guys. So
Yeah.
sorry.
Well,
Sorry
I
to
do
burst
think that you
that
can tell they
bubble.
are working together very well in this movie. So I do think you can
Yes.
tell, you know, because he just. Well, okay, you know what?
And
Let's
there's a
talk
level
about
of
it.
trust.
Yes,
that,
let's talk
yes.
about it.
We're going to talk about who are our people in this movie in our next category. Who is she? Maybe I'll figure out how to say words then.
I just wish we could all get along like we used to in middle school. I wish that I could bake a cake made out of rainbows and smiles and we'd all eat it, be happy.
She doesn't even go here.
Do you even go to this school?
Okay, so this is directed by Zoe Kravitz. I almost feel like she's kind of a character here, even though she does not appear in this movie, just for the record. But we have Frida, who is played by Naomi Ackie, who I love. She was in
I
that
love
Whitney
her. Mickey
Houston
17,
biopic.
she's
Mickey
the
17,
best
she was
part.
so good in that.
I
Oh,
know, she was such a fucking bad bitch.
and she
like-
was so different. Like her
And yes,
range is crazy.
and she's
Yeah.
so sexy in Mickey 17, and she's so dominant, and like because Robert Pattinson's character is like a bit of a, you know, like sensitive kind of pushover guy.
I thought you were going to
So
say a
she-
freaky little weirdo, and I was like,
Oh,
I mean, he is.
kind of that, yeah. 'cause
Yeah.
He has multiple or like there's multiple
One of his
versions him.
personalities is
is
a
a little
freaky
freak,
weirdo.
yeah.
Mhm.
And she's a freaky weirdo, and
She
I just
is.
like I loved how it's a very sexy movie, and I was
It
not
is.
expecting it to be so sexy, and I was like, my review of that movie is literally like could not take my eyes off her the entire
Really?
time. So
Her
Mickey
body in that movie,
NC-17,
oh my
more
God.
like.
it's
Like,
insane.
she's-
Like her ass is insane.
her
like
ass.
I
Like-
literally was like, if you were like in ancient Egypt, like they would build pyramids dedicated to
Literally.
your butt.
Wow.
She's so
yes,
I gotta see
incredibly
this
hot
movie.
in that movie.
I'm telling you
Yeah.
guys, or I'm telling you, Jen, it's I
Like
really
in the
like
way
it.
in this one she's like beautiful, in that one she's hot. Like that,
Yes.
and that's she has more range than hot and beautiful. But I'm just saying, like, it's crazy
She's
how
got
she's like,
layers.
yeah, she's got layers.
Yeah.
Hot. I want,
And we could actually cover that one too.
we could.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
we could.
Because both the
it
alien,
on
the
the
alien
list.
is a female.
It's a
or,
female, yeah.
It's a mommy. She's a mommy
yeah.
alien.
Ooh.
And then she kicks ass in it too. So yeah, and then you have Toni Collette, the bad woman who loves her sauces.
Oh,
So
I love her.
it's
She's
very good. I
my
liked it. Like,
mother,
I don't think
you
it
know.
was like, it wasn't going to win any awards or anything, and it came out a little too early for people to even like talk about it in that way. But I enjoyed it. So there's Sammy's opinion on that movie, guys.
All right. Well, I will check it out. And then we also have Sarah, who's played by Adria Arjona, and I love her. If I could be
Talk about
anybody in
another
this
babe.
movie,
Oh,
I
yeah.
know, I would be her. Her
Fuck.
dress, it's at the gala. It is stunning.
Oh
yes.
my God, with the thing, yeah, with the like, yes. Oh,
Mhm.
Have you
The
seen
little kind of
Hitman?
collar.
Either of you?
Yes.
I thought that was
She's
her in
so
Hitman, but
hot
yeah,
in that
Powell.
movie. I didn't even like the movie that much, but she was so banging
I've
in that
watched
movie.
it multiple times for her. Like it's women like that make me go like, I'm not straight. Like I'm
know,
just not.
Honestly, that's how Mormon Wives has made me feel lately. I'm just like,
all of those women with their beautiful hair,
all of them,
and their beautiful
like,
outfits.
I shouldn't be so horny
Macy,
watching
talk
this
about
show.
Butts.
Why?
Talk about butts. Macy's ass is like
Macy's, oh my God.
unreal. I'm sick.
Okay,
See,
I'm
we
not
want me
better
to-
than any of these men.
it's
Someone
tangent night.
Take me out to pasture and shoot me.
Oh
I
no,
know.
I'm about to start thirsting real hard too because we got
I'm
Christian
sorry.
Slater in this movie.
Yes.
I fucking love
We
him.
hinky
do.
list.
And
Missing
we
out.
have a hawk child too. So
I know. Yes.
okay, but let's do the girls first. Okay, so then we have Camilla, who's Liz Carabelle Sierra, love her. Heather, who is played by True Mullen, and then Jess,
I stoned
Alia
it.
Shawkat. I fucking love her.
Love her.
I love her.
Huge
Search Party
Arrested
is one of my
Development.
Search Party
Yes,
is
Search
so
Party
good.
rules. It's really good.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love her.
Jen, I think you would like Search Party.
I
too.
started watching it, and
yeah,
I think
yeah.
I had to. I don't know why I fell off, but I really loved it because I
Keep
love
it because
her.
that last season,
It
we
sticks the
can't
landing.
even.
Does
yeah,
it?
it does.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
all right.
insane. Yeah,
I'll go back
It's
and
like
check
one
it
of those
out.
shows that should have just kind of came out at once because I do think like you forget about it. But then I
Mhm.
rewatched it
definitely
when the
did.
ending was out, and I was like, "Damn, that slapped."
Yes.
So
All right, well, I'll go back and check it out. But I just from Arrested Development, I love her so much.
marry me. We
No,
say
I
that
said,
all the time.
Don't wear your mittens.
Yeah, it's our we quote it all of the time. That is
Mhm.
I
Oh.
say Michael, look at Banner, like because Mike's name is Michael, and so whenever there is a
You're
banner, I'm
killing
like,
me,
Michael, look
Michael."
at Banner.
No, you're killing me, Buster. Pardon me.
Yes, look at my
Ooh, I-
awards, mother.
I put an
That's my
asterisk by her
favorite.
name because she doesn't actually kill anyone, but she is a lady killer in this movie in spirit. And then we have Stacy, who's played by Gina Davis, my queen of diamonds. I love her. Okay,
So
and then
haven't seen Thelma and Louise, so that'll be we'll cover it. It'll be my
it's-
first time. Yeah.
we've definitely got it on the list. And
Mhm.
then the victims are the men. So we have Slater, who's played by Channing Tatum, who I never really had strong feelings about until I saw him be really funny and like self-deprecating in that 21 Jump Street movie. And
He's
then I was
so
like,
funny. And the second
maybe-
one too. He
Mhm.
makes
that's
it.
what I've heard. And I was like,
Yeah.
maybe you're a little bit more than a himbo. And just to watch him be so deceptively evil in this movie, I was like,
Mhm.
oh, you knew exactly what
Because
you were
you
doing
like
here.
him, kind
Mhm.
like at first, like
Yes.
especially even like knowing, because like when you first watch it, like he's not a good guy. I mean, he's a billionaire, so
Yeah.
he's not a good guy. But even then, I was like, oof, like
Oh,
it's
the
men like
theories
that
I
that scare
had
me.
were
I would
crazy.
go.
Yeah.
I would go, and
Yeah.
that's what's so
I would
scary,
go.
think,
I
about this
also like
movie.
at one point my first watch was convinced he wasn't in on it and that he was also being drugged and like
yeah,
I had a
Yeah.
whole theory that was so wrong the first time I watched this. But anyway, yeah,
Nope.
just goes to show wolf in
How
sheep's
charming.
clothing, man. Yeah.
Yep.
the charisma. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Speaking of Macy, when she says all men are toxic, maybe she's
I don't
not
disagree with
wrong.
her.
Don't. Yes.
She even gets mad at her own husband from
Yeah,
time to
she does.
time.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
she puts him in his place.
She sure does. Yes.
She's the fucking money maker. So
Mhm. She's a
she wrote a book.
breadwinner. Yeah,
Okay?
she did. I know.
She wrote
right.
a
I
book.
wanna write a book. And then we have Vic, my dream crush forever, Christian Slater. I love him
Oh,
so
yeah.
much. It's like I've gushed about him on other
It's
episodes.
Mike.
so.
It's one of Mike's favorite celebrities of all
Ooh.
time. Same. I love him.
And I love him in this movie too. He's so funny. I love how he's like always hopping around with his Polaroid, and it's just like so
Mhm.
giddy.
Yes.
It's so funny. And we have Cody, who's played by Simon Rex. I don't have strong feelings about him, but he's hot in this.
Mhm.
And
I love Simon Rex, so Red Rocket
He's
is
really good.
phenomenal.
Yeah,
I
Yeah, I was
haven't
gonna say Red
seen
Rocket.
that, but
He's
I've
very
heard
good.
it's
I
really good.
love him in Scary Movie 4 too,
Oh my
which is not a reference that I thought I would ever have a chance to bring
Yeah.
up. But he basically plays because it's like a riff on Signs, so he's like the brother from Signs.
That's right. That was
But he's
him.
also
Oh
it's
my
8 Mile too is being
God,
spoofed, so he's trying
yes.
to be a rapper. So there's like a whole rap scene,
I
just
didn't
like an 8
realize it because
Mile.
I didn't know who he was at the time. So like, I
No,
didn't
none of
even
us
realize
did.
that was him. Yeah.
So that
That's so
is
funny.
my first time I ever saw him in anything, and I still think that movie holds up. So
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know if I've
Abs
seen
for
it in a while.
days. Yeah.
well,
Mhm.
I've seen it a lot.
And then we have Tom, who is Haley Joel Osment,
I
and
love
I
him
love
so
him
much.
too, especially when he popped up on The Boys as Mesmer too.
We
I
love
Oh
was
my
like,
God, he was so good in The Boys.
So
Oh
good.
my
His
God.
recent arrest was a bummer.
That's true. Forgot about that.
Sometimes you just do a
I
little
did
too much
too.
coke and you drink a little too much and you start saying racial slurs.
Yeah.
It happens up on the slopes.
Apparently
So-
it does. Yeah.
But he was
so
sorry. Remember, he
he
was
is sorry.
He was
He's
sorry.
very, very sorry.
Hey, it's a little
Yes.
easier for me to
Zoe.
forgive that than it is the actions in this film. So
Agreed.
take that as you
yes,
will.
yes. And then we have Lucas, who's played by Levon Hawk, son
Yeah.
of one of my other forever 90s dream
Mhm.
crushes,
Hawk
Ethan
children.
Hawke. Yes, Hawk children. And then Security Dick. I didn't look up his name.
I
I'm
didn't
sorry.
catch a name either. Yeah.
There was no name, and I don't think it's necessary because I don't think even these men that do exist on these islands have name, like they know their names.
Yeah,
so
that's
I
Chris
think
Costa
that's
is
a
the
good point.
actor,
Yeah.
but I'm not gonna. And he
That
does
is-
the part well, I will say. But
does, yeah.
fuck that guy. And our motives: revenge, protection, and fucking men, but not
Mhm.
fucking men.
Fucking men.
Fucking men.
Fucking men.
These
Yeah.
fucking men. Okay, our weapons. I probably have missed a couple of things in here. Knife, teeth.
Mhm.
I like that one. A cushion or some kind of chair paraphernalia. A rock.
Chair paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia, if you're nasty.
Paraphernalia.
A rock, a knife, the perfume, and a vape pen. And of course,
That sounds
that
like
is-
an episode of Clue.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Oh, and a foot. Yes,
A
yeah.
foot.
Oh, that one is
That
brutal.
disturbed me. That's the
I
only
know.
reason
I
I
was
remember
like,
it. It was like,
Because it's a very
Yeah.
personal death.
Channing
It's-
Tatum.
Like you have to sit there and stand for a while and put your weight, and you're
Exactly.
watching someone die in a way that is, it's not an instant, easy death. Like
Yeah.
to do that, you've got a little something evil in you.
Well, okay, so I do want to ask about this trigger warning because we have mentioned it. This was in theaters, and it was the first time I'd
Yeah.
ever seen a trigger warning like this in theaters. What do we think about this trigger warning, Sammy? And do you think we need it?
So as we said, like this is not the most intense film I've ever seen as far as violence and gore goes, but I do think it is the most intense film I've seen in regard to how realistic it is. So for that reason alone, I feel like the trigger warning is warranted, and I think also like I would like it more if this is what we were doing going forward with films, I guess. But like I think that a rating should be enough of a trigger warning for a film. Like they usually list out the reasons why it's rated R and the viewer
That's-
can decide for themselves if it's
Mhm.
something they can handle, I mean,
Mhm.
that's just historically what ratings are. Like that's why we have ratings.
Yes.
But I think due to, this movie coming out around the time we as a society were being shown just how truly horrific the people in charge are and our world is like this actually did happen and it is still happening and has happened pretty much throughout the millennia of us being people. I think I think it really is like the longest standing horrible thing in the world. So I think while it is a work of fiction, the truth of this reality like keeps getting worse as more files are getting released. And I would argue that I needed even more of a trigger warning after knowing what we know now, kind of. Like I think watching it in a different light definitely made it a little harder to swallow, no pun intended. And I
Yeah.
did want to, this is like, this is a dark thing. So I will say it just as, before we head on, just to kind of get it out. But there were public release documents and legal filings that referenced trumpet plants in the Epstein files. These trumpet plants naturally contain tropane alkaloids or tropane
Deutera,
alkaloids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so These records were from 2014 and 2015. They were emails discussing the growth of these plants and articles describing the psychological effects of the substances that they produce. Statements have been made alleging the use of substance to induce memory loss and extreme drowsiness. It's a critical brugmansia and datura, or they're highly toxic, and ingestion or exposure to any part of these plants can lead to severe medical emergencies, including respiratory failure, psychosis, paralysis, and death. And that's what they were doing here. So, a little scary. And I think like I said, as I have found out more, it feels like she might have, known some things. And, I don't think it's that far off to assume that. And this was kind of her way of showing that she knows things.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, but her mother is Lisa Bonet, right?
Who worked with, let me think about
Bill
it.
Cosby.
Yes.
Yeah,
Noted,
so
rapist.
Spanish fly abuser.
Wasn't she kicked off the show at some point by him? Like there was
a
some
different
controversy
world?
that-
She was.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a different world. Okay,
I think so. I it's been a while, and there's
You're right.
There's a really great documentary from Kamal Bell, who I think it's like we need to talk about Bill Cosby, and it's such a good look.
Yes,
I've watched that when
it's
it
very
came out.
good. It's
Yeah,
very
it's
good.
really
Yes.
good. And it's a good look at, like, yes, he was important to the Black community on TV, and he
Yes.
also did a whole bunch of shitty things, and both of those things can be true at the same
Can
time.
be true.
So,
Yeah, it's very
But
well done.
check that out. Well, Shelby, what do you think about this trigger warning?
So I'm with Sammy. That's what ratings are for, I believe. And I think that it caused a little more panic, and it caused the movie people to view the movie through a lens that was a little more I don't know, critical in what I would consider a bad way compared to like Sam, it's like, if we're going to do this, then let's do it for the rest of the movies. Like, let's do it for everything else. But it's the fact that this movie just got this, and it's still there. Again, if you watch it on Prime right now, that's the first thing that shows up. And it's just insane to me that this was posed in this way by so many people, that it garnered this rating. Again, I'm not opposed to a rating. I'm not opposed to trigger warnings.
No.
But it's that this movie in particular was given this, especially considering the subject matter. It just seems strange to me. It doesn't seem like a coincidence. Call me crazy all you want. And I think, okay, well then where's this for the rest of them? Where's this for the rest of everything? Because I think they put this warning in theaters like after after people were complaining. And I'm a strong believer in, like, I don't think that stories of assault, of course, they've been done terribly before. We've seen all the movies from the 70s. It's been done in an exploitative way since film has begun. But I think that the trigger warning and all of the controversy around it kind of whipped around to this weirdness where it was like, we shouldn't tell these stories at all.
Yes.
And I think that's really backwards and really terrible. And, I don't think everyone should have to be exposed to sexual assault stories, but I think people who are victims of sexual assault, sometimes it's like, it needs to be talked about. Men need to talk about
people
it. Men
who
need to be
aren't,
shown
like,
in this
victims
way.
should be seeing this. Like, this is an important film.
Don't go to an island with a bunch of rich people.
Yes.
We know that now, literally from real stories, that this is a warning that young women need to hear, and it's like, I think that's what it is. It's like you're immediately tried to be like, they deter you from watching it. And again, it's like, it's so different than just like throwing up some warnings. Even when you watch TV, it was like the late 90s when they started doing TV warnings, because they didn't used to have warnings on TV. And it's like, all of a sudden it was like TV PG, TV 14 or whatever.
TVMA.
TVMA, and you get the little, and it would tell you exactly the tags of what, smoking. And
smoking is the one that always
content.
cracks me up. I'm like,
smoking always cracks me up too. I remember when they first started that too. Everybody was like, smoking, because people are still smoking a lot at the time.
Yeah.
So
sometimes they get so specific where, like, I've seen it like gyrating.
Yes.
Like, dry humping.
Well,
like,
if you ever look up "Does the Dog Die?" that site, it's like
that
specific,
site
it'll
so
spoil the
specific.
movie for you.
Yeah, it's actually pretty helpful. And like, but I've seen like male buttocks is like one of them I remember seeing as a kid.
Cheek.
Well, that's just a tease.
Yeah.
Right? That's just making me want to watch it
trigger
more.
for horniness.
Yeah. So that's the thing. It's like, I have no problem with warnings, but this seemed like I don't know. It seemed like a weird, I hate to use the word agenda and sound like some sort of
No, I agree.
I mean, I am on a podcast.
It's like telling
but-
women, like making sure the women don't know the horror of pregnancy, so we keep having babies.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like making
Mhm.
sure we're ill-informed, so we will keep making bad decisions.
Yeah,
Not that that's a bad
exactly.
decision, you know, but
No,
like
no, I know
this
what
is
you
the
mean.
perfect example of like,
Uninformed
hey,
decision.
yes,
Yeah, or an
yes.
unconsidered decision. Yeah. Or
Mhm.
not a decision at all. You just fuck and then you're pregnant.
And it shouldn't be like this. You should be able to hop on a plane and
Yeah,
go to an
and
island
go to
with
an
a
island
rich
if you
hot
want to.
guy.
Absolutely.
You should
Yeah.
be able to do that.
Yeah.
But we don't live in that world. So
No, we don't.
I
Not
I
yet.
want it to be very apparent that I'm not victim blaming these girls.
Oh,
No,
not
exactly.
at
I
all.
feel the
want
same
them
way.
to be able
Well,
to
and
do this.
that's
I want
why
it.
I think this movie is so well done, because these women were literally like, I will come to this island and fuck you. Yeah, let's do whatever. I will do
Yes.
drugs with you. I will fuck you.
Yes,
I will
they're
do
all
whatever with
down.
you. And that was still not enough.
Not
It was
enough.
still not enough.
Yes.
It needed to be taken from them. And so that's why I
Mhm.
think this movie is important to be, not
Yeah.
important to be seen, but like I love the message of this movie.
Yeah. No, completely agree. And
Mm-hmm.
there's actually a lot of research about trigger warnings that it can have an adverse effect. It can actually make the triggering incident loom larger or like increase your
Huh.
anxiety
'Cause you're
about it.
thinking about it.
Because you're
'Cause
thinking
like,
about it.
and you're
Yes.
anticipating it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now
Mhm.
I have PTSD, so sometimes I need a trigger warning. I need
Me
a trigger
too.
warning for
For
spit
sure.
too. You know, I just don't, and bugs. But and that's not to trivialize. You know,
It's eye stuff for me. Like we all
Yeah.
have specific things.
we have
you
our
know.
things, and
We
you know,
do.
triggers. Like I have triggers that bother me, and then I have triggers that will literally send me into a PTSD spiral. So I get it.
Yes.
Listeners, listen to the first episode of my old podcast, Psychoanalysis, where Mike Snoonian did a lot of research about trigger warnings. He talks about it for a while if you're interested in that. But what I think is interesting about this one is it says, I believe this is what it says, according to Collider, Blink Twice is a psychological thriller about the abuse of power. That's the first thing it says. And I'm like, interesting. And I do think, considering what we know now, it feels a bit like a Trojan horse of like, if I put this in front of you, you're not going to want to watch this movie, or you're going to roll your eyes at it, and you're going to be one of those people that's like, I'm not going to watch one of these movies. You know what I mean? Like,
And people
I don't need a
did.
safe space, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We're going to get in a plane and go to a girl island. No boys allowed
girl
on this
time.
island. Yes. Except
Yes.
for, look, I know people are going to email us and be like, why do you hate men? We don't hate men. We love men.
No, I
But-
don't. I go into it assuming bad because society has taught me
Yes.
that. So
Mhm.
you take it up with the rest of the boys.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You talk to the boys
Sorry.
about that. Yes.
Yeah.
But we love men. We just hate
I love
the
my
things
men.
that men do. Yes. And, you know, and I don't want to go down a whole not all men thing, but yeah, it's not like a lot of men are good, but a lot of men don't do enough. And we're going to talk about that too.
Mhm.
But we're going to get on our lady plane and we're going to go to a lady island in our next category. Get in, loser. We're going killing.
This woman will soon cut, chop, break, and burn 5 men beyond recognition. And there isn't a jury in this country that will convict her.
On
I'm
an
gonna show off my animals.
Yeah.
And
nail
I wish I
mills.
had some animals. I
Oh,
can't even
and
say it
nail
right.
mills. Yeah.
I love it. It's so good. I really,
I
you
do
know,
too.
I hope this character got. I mean, obviously she gets a lot of money, so I hope she starts a nail mogul or is.
Yeah.
You know,
She's a mobile mogul for nails.
Yes.
Ooh, okay, so let's talk about Slater, not Christian Slater, but he's constantly asking them if you're having a good time. And it wasn't till second watch that I realized how much of a fuck you that is, how it is rubbing it
Yeah.
in their face. And then he also says the worse it is, the more they forget. So there's so much to talk about here, but I wanted to kind of go back to Shelby, what you just said, like, all these women are into them. They like these men.
Mhm.
Now, maybe Sarah doesn't totally love Cody so much, or
But like
what's
that
his name?
happens. She's more into Slater, and that's fine
Exactly.
too. Like
It's
that's his
fine.
life.
But like
Yeah.
specifically thinking of Frida and Slater, Frida loves him. Frida wants to date him. Why can't
Mhm.
he just date her? So the real question is, what does he actually want? Sammy, what do you think?
I mean, I think his goal was never to have a romantic relationship because that's not the sort of man that he is. It's not enough for her to just want him because he's a narcissistic predator. You know,
Mhm.
he desires a fantasy of dominance and control without accountability that comes afterwards or would come afterwards. And as we've stated, he's a billionaire, and billionaires have done everything and everyone under the sun if they so choose. And I would imagine that after a while that gets boring. And I think he thinks just simply having any man or woman you want is like so middle class, so to speak, like this is sort of for the big leagues. Like you start to get into weird shit when you've been able to do whatever you want for many, many years. I don't think that everyone does, but I think historically speaking, we have enough stats to back that line of thinking up.
Yep.
And I think he, seeks a thrill that is enhanced by this delusion that his victims still love him and want to be there. And I think he finds this sort of strange sense of attachment to women who are, quote, good at forgetting, because it allows him to feel adored despite his actions. Like that's an ideal situation. Like think about that. A relationship in which the woman only remembers the good things, no baggage, no resentment, because they're unable to remember them. And it's essentially like having a doll that comes to life, forgets, then you get to do it all over again in the morning. And now that I was kind of like thinking about it as I was writing my notes earlier, it kind of reminds me of Westworld, the show, and like what they're trying to say there of like these, although they are machines, like they still have they do have feelings, and you're inflicting pain on them. And what does that say about you that you even want to inflict pain on an object? I see these people like kicking robots, and I think it's funny, and it's like, why do you want to do that to anything? I don't want to hurt anybody that's innocent, or has done nothing wrong to me. And it's a lot like Ex Machina, like which we talked about in our episode on Ex Machina. Like instead of machines, they're able to rewire real women's brains. And like you said, like that asking if you're having a good time and they say yes, it kind of like in the eyes of the law, like it's like, hey, I asked them if they were having fun. And they wanted to be there and they're having fun. They've said it themselves. They've personally come from their own lips that they are having a good time. They just don't know the full extent of the time that they're having. So, yeah.
I'm having an amazing time.
Oh my God, I'm having
Everything's
so
amazing.
much fun.
Yes.
And like, honestly, like even as someone who has like dabbled in drugs, like that amount of drugs, that many days in a row sounds awful.
Literally,
like,
it made me want to throw up. And
I
then
know.
being
I was
in
like,
the
how are they not
sun,
having hangovers every day?
I was like,
the
can you
one
guys drink a
time I have
smoothie or
done
something?
Molly, like the next day I was so sick. You're so depleted of your serotonin levels. Like your brain chemistry is off. So the last thing you want to do is do more Molly or more LSD or whatever, they're just taking MDMA. Like, like when I have champagne, I don't get me wrong, I love champagne, but like it's bubbly and I can maybe have 4 glasses before it all goes to my head and I have to throw up. And I burpee.
Yeah.
And I definitely can't have it like a bunch of days in a row. Like
no.
Yeah.
It like made me sick. So that's, that's more on me, but like I love drugs that are fun, but I don't love doing them days in a row.
Yeah.
That's my hell.
And it's just like, it's kind of constant,
Yes.
It's vacation drugs.
From the minute you get, like, you don't even remember sleeping. So
Yeah.
it's just like every time you're awake, you're doped up. And that does not, I like to have my wits about me in the morning.
Well, that's the thing. And I think that's intentional too,
Yes.
Like the boys probably are not doing as many drugs as the girls are,
Or at least, the ones that at least keep their memories.
like different ones. Yeah.
Shelby, what do you think about Slater?
Oh yeah, I think it's all power.
Mhm.
I do think it's just, I mean, it's just really disgusting, and I do think I'm not giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm not like, there's a tweet that's like, you do not gotta hand it to ISIL, but that is how I'm feeling right now. But he has these few throwaway lines that we never get into about his sister.
Yeah.
And he's like, my fucking sister. And like, how can you go play tennis with that man after what he did to us? And he just kind of spouts this. We never get any information about it, which I love. That is not a complaint to me about the movie. I love that because it just shows like he clearly was that's how he discovered this. He forgot some stuff too. And so I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but to him, I mean, the bad guy never thinks they're the bad guy. They never think they're, and so I think
thinks
he genuinely,
he's doing him a favor.
yeah. So he's like getting his cake and eating it too, which is again, the billionaire way. Like he's like, well, these bitches should be grateful. Look at all this shit I gave them. And they're not even going to remember that my friends and I sexually assaulted them and like beat them up too. Like not to downplay any of the sexual assault, but like they got the shit beaten out of them. They would just like beat them
Yes.
up for fun.
Mhm.
And like you said, Sammy, like the psychological thing of the next day, them asking if you're having a good time, and then them being like, "Oh yeah, you got shit faced and fell out of a tree because you're a fucking idiot."
'Cause you're
you
an
know,
idiot.
like
Yes.
You can't
yeah,
handle
like
your drugs.
making fun of them for their own injuries, and like by the end, they are all like fucked up looking. Like
Yes.
the makeup department did such a good job of making it really subtle, but they
Mhm.
look like haggard by like day whatever it was because we don't
Well, 'cause
even
you
know.
don't
We don't
know.
even
We
know
don't
how
know
many
the
days it's
timeline.
been.
Well,
Mhm.
even that scene where they're running and then they realize and they go, wait,
Why are we
why are we
running?
running?
Mhm.
And I almost
Yeah.
feel like it's part of their brain because they've been running away from them and
Yeah.
get caught. And it's
Mhm.
like, it's almost like their survival instincts is like kind of
There's
coming in
something
and
in
flashing
them.
in
Yes.
between of like, oh wait, I'm running because I've been running every night.
Mhm.
But right now in this moment, I don't know why I'm running away. And
Yeah.
that's so
Yes.
scary. That's
Well,
really scary.
and I noticed one big thing like that I don't know, I think it was like an unintentional choice, but after Frida and Sarah realize what's going on, by the pool the next day or I think it's the following day or the same day. Anyway, when they're trying to get the other girls to do shots, for the first time they're both wearing one-piece bathing suits plus a cover-up, like a sarong. They're
Like,
wearing
they're
like
way more cognizant of their bodies.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
but it's like, but also that's all they have. Like they're clearly
Yeah.
given a set of clothes, and it's like they went into their closet and found the most covered thing that would also
Yeah.
not look weird to sit by a pool in. And I just
Yeah.
thought that costume choice was so interesting.
Oh, I didn't think about
And
that.
yeah,
Because
and
as
so
women,
like
you cover up when you notice that.
Well,
you know?
and what did it
Exactly.
say? The body keeps the score. You
body
know,
keeps the
like their
score.
brains may not remember, but their
that
body
was a
does.
thing I
Yes.
didn't realize until watching it this time. I was like, wait a second, they're both like all of a sudden they're like covered up. I mean, there's nothing
Mhm.
wrong with a one-piece bathing suit, but like, for
Oh yeah.
what they
But
were
they
wearing in the
weren't, though.
beginning,
Yeah.
and they were
Yeah.
so uninhibited, and like now it's like, oh, now it's and they keep their little sarongs on, and like the
Mhm.
costumes, by the way, were beautiful
They're
through
beautiful.
this whole movie.
Oh, yeah.
All the
they
bathing
are.
suits
They're
and
very
everything were stunning.
ethereal looking.
Well,
yeah.
and the scenes where
stunning.
they're walking with their bloody dresses with the bow, and it's just
Oh.
tracking
Oh,
them
it's
walking toward the house.
amazing. It
Gorgeous.
looks so
Perfect.
sick. And
Mhm.
it's also like, think about it. So that's such a good point, Shelby. I love
Yeah, I
that. Like,
thought
because
about
I
that.
did not think about that at all. And like, think about when you're on like the subway or you're walking and you're like in an outfit that maybe feels a little revealing, but you feel good,
Yeah.
and then all of
Mhm.
a sudden you start getting the leers. And then
Mhm.
you're
And
like,
all of a sudden you
you're
feel
like,
naked.
"Ugh,"
Yeah.
like naked. And it's like, it's why I in Chicago, like I would have my like traveling outfit and then it would be like over the outfit that I'd be wearing to the place that I would go because I found myself getting so uncomfortable like and I felt like because this is just how my brain works and how society has made women think is I was like I look like I'm asking for it.
Yep.
And
No,
like that
that's-
is
yeah.
such
That's
an
what they would
awful
say.
thing. Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so I was like, mentally like I was like, okay, I'll wear a big sweatshirt and like, cover up as much as I can and then like disrobe when I get to the party or whatever. So that's what we have to even we don't have to, but I definitely think it keeps us safe, unfortunately.
I agree.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, I think it's all about power.
Mhm.
Recently there's a podcast called Your Own Backyard. It actually came out a few years ago. It like won a bunch of awards. The podcaster actually helped like this cold case of this woman named Kristen Smart. It happened. You might know, Sammy. It happened around where you were from. It was like
the girl that was up in Lake Tahoe and kept in the house.
no. This is a different
okay.
one. But you would have been really young. In fact, you would have been like too young to remember the actual case, but you might have heard about it. But she went missing from Cal Poly, but she was from I think around where you're from. Anyway,
Okay.
so like years later, they finally like arrest this father and son, and I'm listening to the court cases right now, and like so like that happened in 96, but the court all this stuff happened in like 2019, and so this is more modern day, and like the defense attorney, the way he's cross-examining is like it feels like it's 1952. Like he keeps asking about what she's wearing and how she was probably pretty loose and this and that. I mean, this man, he was convicted, the one who they think did it. They killed this woman and disappeared her. He was convicted of sexually assaulting several women, and so they have them on the stand, and he's again like, what were you wearing? Well, you woke up in his bedroom, so don't you think you were maybe having a good time? And she's like, no, I don't remember getting to his bedroom, like because he was drugging women. And it's like it keeps this watching this movie and listening to that podcast around the same time of like the drugging and like these women being told like Well, but you
I
did
have
go on a
certainly
date with
been in
him.
men's bedrooms that I did not have good times in. So
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Well, like,
and I've
and
been
it's
in
like
men's bedrooms and I don't remember how I got there.
yes,
exactly.
yes,
And so like these women,
and that's
it's
my
like,
own bad
well, you
decision
went on a
making.
date with him, so and it's like, okay, but I didn't want to do that. Like, what? How are you seriously? And it's like it's been bonkers. I'm like, how did this court case happen this recently?
I
And then
should be able
watching
to
this
walk
movie
around fucking naked and not have to worry about
Yep,
being
absolutely.
raped. So,
Absolutely.
but
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
not this world.
But
Nope.
again, I think it's all about power, and they
Yes.
tell themselves, just like Slater does, this fucking lawyer, and so many men tell themselves, well, they really wanted it. And that's why they do it and that's why we're all like bitches and whores, because you really wanted it and you're just doing this to set
We're
me
just
up.
being
Like,
teases.
Yep. Mhm.
yeah. And like the way Slater's like, well, you're having a good time. Who cares if you don't even remember all this stuff? Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
the way at one point where the part where he says you're my best friend was beyond
It's-
fucked up.
It's chilling
Yeah,
because
It
like
is.
you can see that in his sick mind, he does have feelings for her. Like, and it's
Yeah.
not their feelings aren't just good. It's a different type of feeling. Like it's like it's not like a romantic feeling, but there is a draw like to
Yeah.
her. And
Well, he
so,
wanted her to come back. He didn't want to find
Mhm.
new people.
and to prove that, like, I mean, think about it.
Well, yeah.
When you proving that, like, you can come back a year later and I got you again.
I can do
and
anything.
you fell
I got
for
you
it again.
And I let you live like a squirrely little piece of shit who can't even pay her rent, and you're gonna
Yep.
serve me at my party. And it was all set up, but it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you're gonna serve me. He could have
Yes.
made her like sent her on her way and like supported her Anna nails, and
Yeah.
like she just thought a mysterious benefactor gave it to her and lived
He's
a good
obviously
life.
kept
and-
tabs on her, which is like
Yeah.
crazy because it's like, that she's posting to that Instagram with hoping that he will reach out. Like, she's obviously spent a lot of time thinking about him since then, and so has he. But he's playing it as if he hasn't. Like, he's like, oh yeah, like, I like it's all Machiavellian in nature.
Yes.
And I was wondering if either of you kind of had like a theory as to like who the person Channing Tatum's talking about in regard to the person from their childhood. Like,
Definitely one of the old men in those Polaroids, right?
Well,
like
that, or I thought maybe Kyle MacLachlan's character, because
actually,
like he's the oldest and
He
like they
is.
spend time. So it's like, how can you play golf with him when he did like I mean, probably Occam's razor of it all. It's probably one of their dad or like an uncle
For
or something.
sure.
But if it's
But
someone
I
in
like
the film,
that theory.
I could
I like
see it
the
being
idea of that,
him.
especially because of the end and how terrified he was. Like,
Yeah.
I loved that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and he feels kind of befuddled and confused sometimes too. So I was like, I wonder if
Yes.
Channing Tatum is doing something like Frida does at the end to him.
He does get a
too,
little
you know?
baggy,
Mhm.
so
He does get a little baggy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that's the thing we say about rape. Rape is not about sexual gratification. Rape is about power and
Power.
control. And that's what he wants. He wants to
Yep.
dehumanize them. He wants to know that he can do whatever the fuck he wants. And he wants to be a nice guy. He wants to he's on vacation, and his vacation is like the most dangerous gaming them just with sexual assault. And then he wants to be treated like he's a nice guy.
They
And the
all do.
thing-
That's why you're ruining that young man's life. Are you really going to ruin his whole life over one night? Like,
Exactly.
that's
Such a promising young man.
such
you
a
know?
promising young man.
And the thing that bothers me, especially on second watch, is how he weaponizes all this therapy speak too. He is like the king of that. And when they're like, I'm not going to put my phone in the bag, or they're like questioning the having to put your phone up, he's like, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. So he's like laying this groundwork of, you have
Making him feel
consent, you have
comfortable.
control.
Yeah.
Exactly. Knowing that he's going to pull it away from him. And that's part of the fucking sick game that he's doing. He just wants to dehumanize and control them. Like, he doesn't want an actual
It's like
relationship.
a product killer. Like, like, you know how like there are some serial killers that like, it's not so much the killing that is what they're it's the entire, it's all of it. It's the planning. It's like, because it's like he probably comes in 2 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, it's not the sexual gratification. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like,
no, I know what
and
you
most
mean.
serial killers were like that too. It was like they waited until after, like the killing part's kind of the least of their worries or the least of their like wants, I guess. And I think that's the same here, where it's like, I don't think it's so much that like I could see Channing Tatum's character kind of just watching. You know, like not even being involved in the sex every night, but getting off on the idea of like him putting this all together
set it
and
all
getting
up.
away with it. Yeah.
And he has control over everything. He has control over the men too.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And the worse it is, the more they forget too. I could see him telling himself that, well, I guess I got to make it really bad. That's part of my gift of forgetting to you, you know?
You better make it worth it.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to talk about this gift of forgetting in a minute because we got to talk about Stacy. But before we do that, let's pay some bills. Okay, Stacy, man. I talk about women that feed the patriarchy a lot. Yes, this Stacy does not have it going on.
She does not have it going on.
She's got treachery going on.
Yes.
Is what's and drinking in the pool in her clothes going on too. Which,
and jelly beans.
You know,
she has jelly beans.
Yes, and jelly beans. And you know, no shade to drinking in the pool in your
she
clothes.
put those fucking shots.
She sure did. Yeah. I'm telling you.
When she just walked straight through the pool, that was the best choice ever. It was so bonkers.
Next time you see her, like she's just got like the thing of tequila where it's like she's like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep this party rolling by myself.
Look, she can do the splits and still catch a foul ball.
Yes.
So she can do anything.
Exactly.
My brain
This
just
is
always
the same
goes
character
to
from A League of Their Own.
It's
I
the
think
same
so.
I mean,
version.
it might be.
Yeah.
Okay,
This
but
is what
she
happened
said
before the end.
So
she got old.
I didn't talk about her in the synopsis because, you know, that is a synopsis, not a recap of the movie. But she is kind of confused and befuddled all the way through. She's a bit of a, but you can't tell if she is just kind of being self-deprecating to kind of get along with these boys, you know, to like not be a threat, not be like a bitch that's telling them what to do all the time, or if she genuinely doesn't remember. And then we find out she knows what's going on and she intentionally forgets because she doesn't want to know about it. And she says, I didn't want to remember. They're going to do what they want to do. Forgetting is a gift, hun. So, Shelby, why does Stacy want to forget?
Because, like you said, the women who feed the patriarchy, they're the classic pick me. I mean, it almost gives at some point that she's a little in love with Slater. Like, there's just like a tinge of that when he says "I love you" to her, which is clearly just a throwaway line that he
Thank you,
probably
bye.
says.
Love you, bye.
Yeah, love you, bye. And she's just like, "I love you too," and
It's
she's
boy
like,
mom.
like
she's, giving.
Like,
yeah.
Yes, it's like a weirdly like
incestuous boy mom,
but she's not his mom, you know. I mean, as far as we know, because
but maternal figures can play the part,
and you know, because that's and you know, having him have an assistant of her age was such an interesting choice because like, was she the assistant to dad, who may have probably was like a terrible person? We don't meet dad. We see Polaroids of older men, which honestly, just a throwaway, real quick. My initial watch through, I thought all of the men on the island were the old men, and then the secret serum was making them
they're
young again.
old. Oh, I love that. It's
that
like,
would have been fun.
Yeah. I was like, oh my God. When I
M.
saw
Night
that Polaroid, I
Shyamalan
feel so
movie.
dumb now, but I saw that Polaroid, I was like, oh my God, it's them. They get young again when they drink
beauty
this
of this
like a Get Out
movie is
kind
that
of
like
thing.
you really and like based on the preview, I will give them like props for the preview. Is it never gave it away, so it's like, and that's very
why
rare.
I thought Kyle MacLachlan was there, because I thought he was like there to get the juice, to get young again. And like one of them, you know, the Hawk child, I can't remember his name, but he's like extra young, and I'm like, maybe he like just did it. That was my whole theory for like a good chunk of the movie the first time I watched
twist.
It was Sweet Summer
that's
Child.
a good twist.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, back to Stacy. Yeah, I think that she's just been like one of these people who, I mean, look at the right and all of the women who are, I mean, we could get into it forever, but like, look at the fact that they're all getting the same plastic surgery right now. You know, they're all like becoming clones of each other.
Yeah,
well,
and they're taking the brunt of the criticism. Like I look at Pam Bondi at this hearing, you know.
Why are all the women
Christy
getting in
Nome,
trouble?
yeah.
Like
when that bitch got fired, I was like, haha, bitch, that's what you get.
But it shouldn't just be her, and that's
it shouldn't just be her.
Is like I'm I'm elated that these women are getting their just desserts. Okay,
but
don't get me wrong. But I would love if the men who put them there also got any
the men
sort
that
of
they are
punishment.
protecting.
Yeah.
Well, and then the men who are the reason they're getting this plastic surgery. Like, that's one thing.
The writer
like that. Yeah,
they
men on the writer, the biggest thing is like
because
making fun of the way liberal women look. They have an idea of how they all look, and they have gone with the blue hair angry, yelling person forever. Like they have an idea of how, and so they have to look different and they do it for the men. And that's what Stacey is. Stacey's doing all this just to be chosen, just to be able to be around these men and the prestige of it all. And like her saying like they're going to do what they want to do, which I mean, I think is honestly the through line of a lot of people's thinking these days, not even no matter what side of the aisle you're on, of like, well, you can't stop them. So whatever, like they're going to keep doing it. So I might as well get to be on the island. Yeah. And I'll just drink this shit or spray the perfume and fucking forget. Like, so like, I don't think she's that far off of what a lot of people would do in that situation. Like a lot of people.
She feels to me like someone who has given up. You know, she's like, I can't. And maybe at one point she took this job and she was like, I can fix him. I can change him. If I can get him to care about me, this is me wanting to give her a lot of credit for keeping this job. And then she eventually was like, they're going to do what they want to do. And I just don't want to know about it. And I'm going to protect myself. And people that do that, I talk about it all the time. They know that they're not going to get all the way up to the top of the ladder. Patriarchy is a ladder, but they'll get as high as they can by stepping on the other women, and they're protecting themselves. And I love this moment where she's like, help me, because finally it has come back to hurt her. She's banked on her protection, proximity to power, protecting her. And finally it doesn't anymore. And I love that Frida is like, bitch, I tried to help you and you did not want my help. And you weren't going to help me either. So I love that moment.
Well, it's like we always talk about with like old Hollywood, and like think about like she's an older woman, so she's kind of been through it. And sometimes these women who have been through it want other women to also have to go through it. And so she has found that she's like, okay, I have to go through it. These women have to go through it. At least they're giving me something that I don't have to remember it. Like I mean, you know, not to speak for someone that's dead, but like I'm sure Marilyn Monroe, during the time she was alive, if she was given something that made her forget, well, she was given a plethora of drugs that made her forget.
Yeah,
and
she's like a good example of that. Yeah,
overdosed on them, maybe. And or either way, like she abused them because she was so filled with trauma. So like I think you could look at it through that lens too, of like she's like, well, I had to go through this, so
I had an ex's mother who flat out told me that like during the Me Too era, like women should stop complaining about getting raped because it happens to everybody. And I was like, so you don't want that to just stop because it's happened? She's like, well, it's happened to me. And I'm like, yeah, and that's awful. Why would you want that to happen
did the
to
exact
anyone
same
else?
thing. She literally was like, was it a situation in which
doesn't matter,
you kind of just didn't want to, you know, and you did it because you feel like you had to. And then she tried to tell me that it was because I've never been loved before. And I was just like, cool, so it's my parents' fault that your kid did bad things to me. But again, not naming any names, it could be any ex.
Me either. Exactly. I'm not naming any names or naming any exes. If you can figure out which ex it was during the Me Too era, that's on you. Like, I can't stop you from doing that.
Sleuthing.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. And Tammy, you mentioned this earlier, like none of our actions matter because none of our actions justify this. And I love that this movie has 4 really messy women who are allowed, 5 really messy women who are allowed to be messy. They're allowed to wear skimpy bathing suits and play by the pool. They're allowed to flirt with these guys. They're allowed to make unwise choices. And it's still not their fault because it's the fucking men's fault. They chose to do this. Yeah. Well, Sammy, what do you think about Stacey?
So unfortunately, this is a portion of the film I can relate to, even though I don't want to. And like not her turning against the women, but the idea of forgetting, because sadly we do live in a world, as I've said, and I have lived in a life in which there are a plethora of things I want to forget. And my brain has put in a lot of work trying to do so, you know? I mean, like a lot of work. It like genuinely scares me how well my body can sort of suppress things and memories. But I'm finding out that suppressing those bad memories that your brain erased in an attempt to, you know, protect itself, it isn't always a foolproof method, because it will find other ways to be released.
Yes, it will.
You know, I want to take, for example, Michaela from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I thoroughly believe that some of her skin issues are from her not dealing with her trauma.
I agree. I had the same thought.
And now that's just a personal opinion, and I'm sure there are other factors, and I'm obviously not a doctor, so I don't want to sit here and go like, it's because she doesn't let her trauma out.
Yeah.
But I am going from my own experience, and I'm going through something very similar, as I've kind of talked about it loosely on episodes, but after starting a more intense therapy for my OCD, I found that most of my autoimmune disorders are from spending 30 years not dealing with my childhood trauma, because I simply can't remember all of it, but I know that it's there. It's like I get little flashes, almost like a slideshow kind of behind my eyes. And there isn't really a day that I don't have to push it aside and shake my head like an etch a sketch, like I've said, to sort of prevent my brain from pulling on that thread. But there's a part of me that still doesn't want to know. And I think that's why. But you have to know, you can't heal if you don't know. I'm finding out. And I think she sort of chooses to forget as a coping mechanism, and like to maintain this luxurious lifestyle, while also being complicit. And I think she views ignorance as a sort of form of bliss, and unlike the other victims, prefers the false reality of the drug induced haze over like the horrific truth of what's really happening. And I think it sort of goes without saying that she plays as quite a parallel to Ghislaine Maxwell type of figures, symbolizing a choice to ignore abuse in favor of security and power. And I think that reveal, like what we were talking about at the top of the episode, sent chills down my spine the first time I watched it, is when Frida is talking to Sarah about Jess, and then they realize that none of the girls know any of the guys. And it's sort of assumed that Sarah and the Ashton Kutcher type character, because that's what I'm calling him, were in a relationship together, which would have created, a safer feeling for Frida and Jess. Like, oh, there's a couple on the trip. But then you realize all of these girls are lured there. And that sort of sinking realization that they all assumed. And it's why the whole like women need not to be pitted against each other theme is important, because like things I think would have gone a lot differently if the women had just communicated more in the beginning. But these men are relying on the fact that women are dog eat dogs sometimes, and they don't talk to each other, and they see each other as threats, especially because Sarah wants to get with Slater. So it's like no one's really talking about how they know anyone. They just are sort of, they see each other as kind of competition until they, until they get to know each other. So it's a classic case of if we weren't told to hate one another, they might have not been here in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean when you talk about forget. Like there's a relief in forgetting. Part of the reason that I drank for so long is because when I was drunk, the voices stopped and I could stop thinking about shit, and then it just started to spiral. That's another story. But I'm doing EMDR right now, which is trauma therapy where you pull up repressed memories, and memory is a whole nother complicated thing. So it is a system. But one of the things you do at the beginning of it, or at least in my methodology, you do is you make a list of all the memories or everything is going to be kind of traumatic. And then I made that list with my therapist. I don't have the list, she does. And I found as I've progressed, because you go chronologically from the earliest one you can remember, I know there are some looming ones out there, and I feel myself wanting to kind of slow down because I don't want to get there. I don't want to have to deal with them. But also, when you forget, it's like it erases it, and it's like my body still knows that this happened, and I'm still dealing with it. And it's really hard to remember, but that's what helps you get through
because
it.
Your brain has it's literally a survival mechanism. Like we're
Yes.
born with it. So it's why we disassociate. It's why when abuse is happening, you can stare off and go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like daydreaming, is a symptom of, it isn't always, I'm not saying that, but like usually
maladaptive daydreaming.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And I was known to do that as a kid.
Me too.
And I
still do.
know I like, the thing is like I've put so much work into, and it's like not even cognizantly, to make sure like my brain has gone like, in order for us to keep going, we can't think of these things.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's really jarring to now get to a point in my 30s where now my body's going, in order for us to survive, we have to remember these things.
It's
Yes.
terrifying too. Like there's so much from my marriage that like someone will be like, oh, this, or like my parents will remind me about like a thing we did together, or like something, or like
blocked it.
and I have no
Yeah.
idea what they're
Me
talking
too.
about.
Same.
And it's so scary to be in your body. Like my dad will send me he's like the other day he sent me a picture. He's like, oh, this is when we went to that thing. I love this picture of you. And I was like, I don't even remember owning that shirt. I don't know this day.
Clothing is a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Like, I tried to, and, I've talked about this, but I would try to take power back through clothing, because that's also another symptom of OCD is you attach certain feelings to certain places or songs or movies or things that you've worn, textures, things like that. Smells is one of the bigger ones. There's this soap that we bought from Bath and Body Works that literally smelled like my dad's cologne mixed with his cigarettes. It was a really gross smell, and I had to have Mike throw it away. I was like, I can't. It takes you back. Smell is one of our biggest memory factors, and so it's I have literally I if I don't take a picture of something or write it down or have some something to remind me of it, it's gone. It's just gone.
It's so terrifying. Yeah.
I have no idea where half of my closet of my life has gone. I don't know.
Same. Yeah. 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 And I remember I went through a whole thing where I threw out, because I would walk through my closet and see something and remember a bad time, and I just couldn't.
Yes.
That's what I would do. Yes.
Too. My Minnie Mouse
I
shorts,
can get
I had
rid
to
of
finally
these.
throw them away.
Yeah,
I did, and I finally did.
I had some Minnie Mouse slippers I had to throw away.
Mine were shorts, and I kept them for years because I kept going you are bigger than this. You don't need to. You're not going to let a pair of shorts control you.
Yeah, I had the cutest polka dot dress that I weirdly sort of miss because it was so cute, but then it's I couldn't be near it anymore. I felt like it was
something
cursed.
if something bad happens in it. That is a from what I am learning in therapy, these are different types of OCD.
Oh yeah,
they make sense.
Yeah,
I imagine you have. I mean, I imagine you have. If you're,
I think everybody has a little bit of intrusive
form,
thought,
yes.
and
but
compulsion.
some are if they're debilitating to your day is when you know you have an issue, and they are debilitating to my life, and it's really not fun to have that sort of lack of control over your own. It's my brain has taken autonomy away from me sometimes.
Yep.
And that sucks.
It does. And that, to put it back to the movie, this movie does that in a nutshell. It puts that whole life experience of dealing with that into this movie of this, I keep wanting to say a week. We really don't even know how long they've been there.
I know.
Speaking of OCD, part of me the whole time was girl, who's paying your rent? What about your apartment though? What about your job? Yeah.
Oh, I kept thinking, when are you going to get your period?
Yeah, or in those white bathing suits. I know
it's gonna have to come, or sooner or later.
Yeah.
I
bet they made them get fucking IUDs, and then
I was gonna say, I bet there's birth control in the drinks or something, or they give them the shot or something like that.
The idea is that they're disposable because they kill Jess. It's no issue.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
The thing is if they need to, they'll kill them. I mean,
speaking of, I don't know if we're gonna get to this anywhere. Do you think the fishing trip was to get rid of Jess in that cooler?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yes.
Yep.
I think they were all too cool with the girls not going.
They were like, we're going to go on a fishing trip. Yeah, you guys
it'll be fun.
Given the situation, and you don't want these girls to have alone time with one another, especially after you just had a scare in which a girl remembered. So unless they had cameras, I just genuinely don't feel like he'd be cool with them being alone if they weren't doing something
Unless this is no, I agree. I also could see them disposing of her body being beneath them and thinking, and this could just be them getting sloppy and too arrogant about it.
That
but
is true. I think couldn't help it when I was
right.
that cooler looked real heavy. What are you guys? Where are you guys going? But you know what? You're right. The help would probably do that. So or she'd make great chum to catch those fish. So.
Yeah, and I wouldn't put any of it past these fucking men. Okay, let's talk about another fucking man here.
So now that we're on the subject,
let's talk about Lucas, because he and Stacy, I feel are related, not physically, because he's related to Ethan Hawke, so but Lucas says we're such nice guys, which I love how on the nose that is, but then later Slater says you did nothing for yourself, you did nothing for them. In my opinion, there's a real special place in hell for people who choose to do just nothing. And I know that I have kind of hinted at the not all men. And I'm really trying to avoid that because I feel like that always takes all the oxygen out of the room. And it allows men to say, okay, you just said not all men. I'm one of those all men. I'm one of the people who's not bad, you know?
Yeah, but doth protest too much.
Exactly. And also,
Like-
it distracts us from focusing on the fucking issue, which is men as a collective bolstered by a patriarchy that is designed to prey on us. So
Yes.
I am not going to say not all men anymore. And fucking Lucas. Okay, well, here's my question. Does Lucas deserve to be punished like the rest of these men? Shelby, what do you think?
I do, yeah. Like, he's young and he hasn't done as much, but like, he has a black eye. Like,
Yeah.
he did something to
And he's
get
fucking
that
there,
black
you
guy.
know?
I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know. I feel like that was done to him. I think he's being drugged too.
Yeah, I think he kind
he's-
of doesn't remember either.
He's
Yeah.
also being drugged.
That
So
is
he
true.
is one of their toys, one of their playthings.
That is
and
true.
It makes sense because, as I have said, on many episodes, is that like celebrities get to a point, and people with money get to a point where they want to try new things, even if like they consider themselves straight for their entire lives. I think you get to a point where you're like, all right, let's try threesome with two guys. You know what I mean? Like,
or
so-
let's try to make him our protege. Let's
yes,
try
That's
to see what we
that's
can
what I
get him
took
to
it
do.
as too. Was like,
because
Yeah.
he's gay. Like, the character is a gay character. I feel like that's what I took from it, and I think one of the men there is using him also. Like,
I could totally see that. I think it's just that he still got to have all the man time. He was always
because
with
he's still a
them.
man.
Yes.
Yeah,
And so I feel like there was a bit of grooming, honestly, grooming
for
in
sure.
that, hurt people kind of way. Maybe he was the catalyst of the hurt people. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and we hear that if something bad happened to Slater as a child. So I think this is maybe their way of bringing, and then, it's kind of the like mutually assured destruction that
Yeah.
was supposed to be in the current news, but it didn't work. Of like,
Yeah.
we have these pictures of you doing all this horrible shit. So like, you might as well
Yeah.
join us, and they're not going to
Yeah.
dispose of him like the girls, but so it's like, it was headed that way. I don't know.
It's so interesting. I had not thought about him. I did not read the character as gay. I can definitely
didn't
see
either.
that now.
Oh wow. Okay. I
but-
saw other people talking about it too. So that's what I
it
just
could be.
Oh,
I
I'm
just didn't-
not saying it's
yeah.
wrong. What I love is that we don't know enough about this character to know
Yes.
one way or the other. So I think there's a lot of ways to read it. I read it probably because I'm angry that he is like Slater 10 years ago. He's on
Yeah.
the cut. He could turn into a predator.
For sure. I think
But I
they're
also
not-
think you could read it as he's a victim too. And he does seem confused at some points.
he does not know how he got the black eye, and it does feel like a genuine response. He's like, I
Yeah.
don't know, I just woke up with it. Like,
Mhm.
it's, and also when you see this scene in which like it's kind of the flashback to, she's kind of tied, the one girl with the curly hair is tied up and she's crying. Like, you see that what the night really looks like.
Yeah.
He's running away from someone.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine that
Hmm.
he is also one of, like, he's all dressed in white with them too, and I know everyone else is too, but like, I don't know.
That
I
makes
feel
sense. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
no, I could
also,
definitely
like,
see that.
you like, and I, this isn't always the case, but I do think that like having a gay man around implies safety to these women
Yes.
as well.
Very
when they
true.
first meet him at the gala, like, and they bring him because like, it further lets their guard down in a way, like, oh, if he's their friend, they must be good guys. Like,
Yeah.
when you see a bunch of straight white men, or like, yeah, they're all straight white men presented to us, and a gay man hangs out with them, or someone that's LGBTQ, or like even a person of color, like your immediate thought is like, it shouldn't be this way because everyone should just be able to hang out with everyone.
Mhm.
But you're like, oh, they must be good guys
Yeah.
if they are hanging
They're
out
accepting.
with these people.
Yeah.
They're
Mhm.
accepting, exactly. So
Mhm.
I do think having that is another, pawn to get them lured to the island. I absolutely read it as like the film suggesting that he was more of a victim of the abuse and manipulation than a willing participant. I think it's kind of making a point or like a commentary on how male victims of abuse are sometimes overlooked.
Yes,
too.
absolutely.
That's
Like,
true. Yeah.
I
And
mean, look
have
at how we
overlooked
kind of
him.
took
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, not to say that either way is right or wrong, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I just assumed, both times I watched it, I assumed he was.
No,
gay
that's really
character.
interesting. I'm glad we all
Yeah,
actually.
same.
I'm glad we got different reads from that. That's
Me
really
too.
fascinating.
Yeah,
Well, and
that's-
I think it can all be true. Like, not that
Yeah.
he, like, he identifies how he identifies the character.
For sure.
But I think he could be a predator on some nights and a victim on other nights. And that's kind of
knows?
the fucked up nature of this whole thing. And I do love that you're right. Men are assaulted also. It's just not something we talk about very much, you know. But I just love his speech too, where he's like, "What did I do?" And Slater's like, "You did nothing." And I think if we are considering him on the side of the victim, because that almost would put him in the same category as Stacy, is like she is a victim, but she's also partially enabling, you know. I think we could look at that as a statement of like, just not saying anything is not enough. And that's
Just
why
don't look. That's what
just
makes me
don't
think
look.
of don't look.
Da-na-na-na. But that's void in Tennessee, so I'm fucked. But
Yes.
yeah, and I think that is always my, I don't know. That's always my response to like not all men is like, okay, yes, but we got to course correct a little bit. And at some point I'm going to default to you need to take responsibility if you're there, because men, you can do more than you're doing. If you think
can
you're
do better.
if you think
Come
you're a good
on.
man, look at what you've actually
Just because
done.
you don't rape,
Mhm,
like that's
exactly.
my favorite part of it. Is like I'm actually one of the good ones because I don't rape.
Well,
It's like,
but I bet one of your
no,
friends
like,
does, and you
yeah,
might know
yeah.
about it, and maybe
But
not
also
rape,
is
but
the
you're
bar
creepy.
so low
Mm.
that we're like,
The bar's on the
wow,
fucking
good
floor.
man, good man.
Yeah.
He doesn't rape, but
Exactly,
like, come on,
yeah.
guys.
Yep.
Like, sorry.
So, men, I'm calling on you.
But it's also like it's so funny how we say like with women, like when one woman lies about being raped, like that gets put on to all of the other women.
Oh, yeah.
But when one guy is, does a bad thing, we're
It's
like,
like,
but not all men.
oh,
But then a girl lies and we're like, oh, see, all girls
see,
lie
all
about
women,
rape.
yeah.
So it's
Just
like
to
this
be a
double
bitch.
standard that like is crazy to me. And I think they're saying it here too with the inclusion of him, because it's just like, why are we okay, or why do we make out like, why do we are so quick to protect the men, but like with women we're like, we see it as an opportunity to go like, fuck yeah, she lied, now I can say
Yeah.
every other woman lied.
Yeah.
Like it's just,
And I think also as a
that's for you, Demi and
yes.
Marciano, ruining it for
Oh.
the everyone else.
Whew.
Sorry guys, I think she's lying.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I really do think she's,
I do too.
like, it's one of the situations where it's like you're making us look bad.
I know.
Exactly. That's why people don't believe us. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And I think I like the fact that we have this conventionally attractive, waspy, blonde, white man
Yeah.
to show that just that identity puts him in this protected class of, he goes on the fishing trip, like he's in the group. Exactly. Yeah. It's good for him. It's not good for the women here, but they get theirs and it's fun. So let's talk about it in our next category. Good for her.
Claiming she could take it no more, the young mother released the emergency brake, allowing her car to roll backwards into the nearby lake. Good for her.
And I'm going to look in the camera and say, yes, we know murder is bad. Whatever. Okay. So I want to talk about this I'm sorry scene. Slater says, I've said those words so many times, they've lost all meaning. You know what? I fucking heard those words so many times, they've lost all meaning. And he says, there is no forgiveness. There's just forgetting. And this reminds me of some shit with my dad, more just like anger, yelling, manipulation, control, not like actual like physical abuse.
Because your body doesn't forget. Like,
Exactly.
your body
Your
remembers what it felt like in those moments. So
and that's
how do you
the
ever
thing.
forget?
I remember she's saying, can you just forgive him? And I was like, oh, I forgave him. But I'm not going to forget, because forgetting opens yourself up to it happening again.
It defeats the point of healing.
Exactly.
You know what I
and
mean?
it keeps you from healing. Yeah. So I just love this scene because that's what he wants. He wants a clean slate. He wants everything he's done to be wiped clean, because he knows there are some people that are never going to forgive him. And that's
a clean
not
Slater, would you say?
A clean Slater. A king clean Slater. But he knows that there are some people that are never going to fully forgive him. And that's not necessarily because of what he did. It's because of society. Because we know it's like, if you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. If I forgive this one guy, if I open up to it again, another guy's going to be like, well, I guess I just have to say I'm sorry in that way next time, So what do we think Kravitz is saying about cancel culture and forgiveness? Sammy, what do you think?
I think just knowing, that the film was written around 2017, I think it's safe to say that Kravitz is exploring sort of the slippery slope of forgiveness, which is sometimes, used to defend rather than punish bad behavior. And rather than offer a blueprint for salvation, she sort of designed the film to show the importance of women finding strength in each other to overcome the systematic sexual violence. And it also, like we've been saying, feels like a literal representation of what's happening with not only the, Diddy case, but certainly the Epstein case and just Hollywood as a whole. We cannot be this dense to think that the perfume or drinks didn't represent venom in a sense and just forgetting. Like, I'll stand on my soapbox here for a second. This is me bringing the soapbox up, standing on it. And say that billionaires shouldn't exist. There is no ethical billionaire. To amass that type of wealth, you have to be a little bit of a sociopath. You don't get that wealthy without exploitation.
And you don't need that much money.
You can't spend it in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Your family's family can't spend it in a lifetime. Your family's family can't spend it in a lifetime. So no.
Give it away.
And when you're talking billions, I think it says that you're pretty comfortable with doing some shitty things to get to the top of that mountain. Like, it's it's statistics.
Or at least overlooking.
Yes, absolutely. And anytime there's a stage set, for an unbalanced power dynamic anywhere with authority, with money, age, any human being having or being perceived as having resource that other humans don't have and want or need, you'll have the abuse of that power. It doesn't just come from having ungodly amounts of money. And her dad was in the music industry. Her mom was a child star who grew up in this shit. And as we said, worked on the Cosby Show. She began working as a young person with others who were, child stars. Like, she absolutely knew about this kind of stuff going on. And she knew people like Epstein and Diddy. Even if she didn't know them directly, whether she had that kind of personal experience is irrelevant, I think. Because I think she, made this movie about the whole lot of them, not just one or two. It's like the entire cabal as a whole. And I think anyone who has worked in the entertainment or fashion industry has had their own experiences or knows someone who has had experiences with coercion, especially that of the sexual variety. And I think lots of sickos are sort of drawn to industries where there is a never-ending stream of young, talented, often beautiful, hungry people who are easy to manipulate and control. And she's putting a magnifying glass up to this. And unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be an end in sight, considering our world is more worked up over a Mormon woman's domestic dispute. It's hard for me to say that it's working because I don't think I really don't know what it's going to take. I truthfully don't. And if I allow myself to really think about it, I go to really dark places. It's very deeply upsetting for me. And I am constantly barraging myself with other things so I don't think about it, and I don't want to be ignorant. I don't want to stop talking about it. So I don't know. It's not really up for debate anymore for me. And I think if you are protecting these people, or if you are cool with what's going on, and yet you want The Bachelorette to be pulled off of ABC, something is wrong with you, and something is wrong with your morals. And I'm not saying here that I think domestic abuse is good. Like, there was obviously a child in that video that was harmed. But come on, guys! Like,
well, and there's more to that story too. There's a man involved in that story.
This is a reactive abuse. I am sorry. I have been part of it. I've seen it my whole life.
Same.
My mom and dad. This was my entire childhood. So, as the kid on the couch of that video, I can tell you that I would much rather see the president get, in trouble than my own parents. But that's neither here nor there. And we let him run again. We let him win. So I'm scared to go out in public most days because of being around people that I know voted for this and are cool with this. So I try, like I said, I try not to go there too deeply, and I really did not want to go there too deeply on this episode.
No, I know. And there's a part of me that's like wants to say, oh, let's edit this part out. But I also think that part of why we keep staying in this cycle is because
keep forgetting
we keep
history.
editing.
We're not talking about it.
Exactly.
We're taking down these statues of people because they're, we're forgetting history.
Exactly. Because it's easier to forget than to deal with it.
And I don't think that's done us very well.
No, it's not.
So
and we are the ones that suffer. Women are the ones that suffer.
So it's like I've told you guys, like, I know I don't have like the biggest platform in the world, but I'm gonna use what I do have to talk about this and to never stop talking about it until someone is just anyone held accountable. One singular person.
Like
one person. Like it's I don't know. I'm at a loss for words because it's so hard for me to stomach and think about. But sorry.
Well, and
but
no, don't apologize. You mentioned 2017, and that I mean, that was around the Access Hollywood tape. And the
Yep.
thing that I always think
Yes.
about that, because that was a watershed moment for me, that a lot of
Mhm.
things in my life shifted in that moment. That's part
Yeah.
of the reason I started going to therapy, because before that, I wasn't really dealing with a lot of shit.
It changes our parent, everything. Like
Yeah.
everyone we knew
Everything.
it was just, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember it took me a couple of weeks to figure out why I was so pissed off, and then I was like, oh, yeah, Corey and I got in a big fight. And then I finally was like, what? Okay.
Why am I angry?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why am I angry?
Mhm.
But the thing about that is, in that video, he says, when you're a star, they let you do it. And he is
Yeah.
not talking about the women letting them do it. He's talking about
No,
everybody
yeah.
else. Everybody
Everyone.
else lets you do it when you're a star. And we have to stop letting them do it. So that's why we are saying things really, and we're not coding our language. And, we
But
have to.
what we also have to do too is kind of pick our battles
Yes.
and
Mhm.
agree that there are certain things that don't really deserve,
Yes.
and we've talked about this before, but it's like, come on, apples and oranges for me. A bad date compared to rape, apples and oranges.
Yes. And we can
Someone
talk
Yes.
about it, but, and also let's just say cancel culture doesn't fucking exist.
It
Because
doesn't
these
exist.
people are
It
not getting
doesn't.
canceled. They're fine.
No, but they should. But the thing is like, unfortunately, for some of these, I'm like, why? Like,
Is
why
this
are we
what we're
wasting
spending our
time with
energy on?
this?
No,
Well, and that's
yeah,
the
the
thing.
back-
It's a long It's a long war, not a single battle. And so, yes, we
Yes.
do have to be smart. And sometimes you just got to get through the day. Sometimes
Yeah.
you can't say
Yeah.
what you want. Like, if I said this to my boss, he would fire me.
It
So-
shouldn't be that way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like being like I did background work for so long, and like the amount of celebrities, the men who I would be on set and we would literally be told like, so like don't be around them, and if they're ever in a room with you, like you need to leave the room. And it was like
Oof.
on us, like we needed to leave
Yeah,
the room.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Kevin
And
Spacey stuff is all littered with stories like that.
yeah, and it was like these sets, the studios would like protect them, and like I was like on a studio lot that I won't name because I don't have the money for a lawyer, but
Yeah. Mhm.
a certain studio lot, like it was a studio person who came and was like, this certain person on this television show, like don't let them be alone with you, and this and that. And it was like, why is it on us? Why wasn't this person
Why
fired?
is this
And
person hired?
also, why wasn't this on the news? Like, I remember this particular person. I was like, how is this not like huge news? Like, this
Mhm.
person's beloved. Why is this? Why am I hearing about this here? And it's just shocking. And still, when I see that person's name as a beloved
On
person,
stuff,
it's
yeah.
just like, oh my God. Like, and I don't blame people because they don't know. No one knows,
Mhm.
And it's like, it's horrifying. And that all goes
But
to say,
people know, though, is the thing. As unfortunately, there are people who know.
There are
and
people who
they're
protect.
allowing it to happen.
They're
Like,
allowing.
They're
I'm-
Stacey's.
I just mean
Yeah.
like the layman who's like, I loved
Yes.
this show and I
Oh,
love
yeah.
this person,
Yeah.
and like those are people I'm like, you just don't know. But going back to Kravitz, where it's like she saw this. I mean, I can't imagine. I saw this little bit when I was an extra, but I can't
Yeah.
imagine what you see when you're at her level, growing up the way she did. The stories her
Mhm.
mom probably told her
Can't
were
imagine.
appalling. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure they were awful. And I mean, even her dad, like seeing how the music industry is, which we know is not any better, if not worse.
Nope.
And it's like she saw both sides of this. Some of the stories too. I mean, obviously, like she's probably a very good writer. I'm not trying to take it away from her. Like everything has to be something that really happened, because I hate it when people do that to my writing, where they're like, this clearly is something way how you feel or how you wrote or something that happened to
It's
you.
an
It's like,
opinion.
sometimes I'm just making things up in my head. But
yeah.
some of the instances, like again, the throwaway lines that Slater has throughout the movie of, things that have happened to him, or like just little the Kyle MacLachlan's whole character, like being so mysterious, and like all of these little things, I'm sure were inspired by things that she either witnessed or heard about, and had no, because like even though she is a nepo baby, she had no power to stop what this shit is. Like, what is
Mhm.
she?
Yeah.
Who is she to stop all of this? So it's like I feel like making it a love letter to girl power at the
Yes.
end, like,
Absolutely.
I don't mean that to sound reductive, but like,
No.
No, it's true. I agree with you. I
and
completely agree with you.
one thing she probably watched too, growing up wealthy, is watching her fellow, like even boys she went to school with, like, there was a term for it for a long time, slumming it. They
Mhm.
start
Yeah.
when rich guys date poor women, and I guess women can do the same, but it's mostly when rich men date poor women.
Yeah.
And, using them and just throwing them away like trash, and these women like getting a taste of these worlds. And it's like, I just can't imagine the things that she's seen. I mean, I can, but like putting it all into this movie, I think that's what it was.
It's
It wasn't
telling
even,
that this was her first thing she wanted to release.
Exactly.
Like, she was like, my first
And
movie,
this is what I'm gonna
this.
say.
Yeah.
And I know that Channing, they were engaged at the time, but to cast someone who's mostly played well-beloved characters and is a well-beloved actor in general as something this sinister was so perfect, because and this is no allegation, but Channing Tatum would be the perfect person to get away with stuff like this.
Yeah, because he's so
Absolutely.
charming, and we want
Pretty
to like him.
privilege exists,
And
man.
we don't want to believe that he is capable of something like this.
Yeah.
It's even like when watching it a second time, even though part of me is like, well, look, they're
Maybe
having
he'll
fun
be good this
together.
time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, let's talk about this ending, because speaking of people who have the power to do something and whether they choose to or not, I remember criticism of this ending. I was like, she's not doing anything. And I remember it's been a while since I don't remember exactly what I wrote, but part of me was like, why is that her responsibility? Why should she, as a victim of this, have to take the brunt
Fix
of
the
this?
whole
Also,
system, yeah.
exactly. Do we think anybody's going to fucking believe her? No, they're going to call her a gold digger.
Exactly.
And they're going to put her in jail. They're going to blame Maxwell her. They're going to blame the whole thing on her. So, but we also have this dinner table scene where Sarah says women have been taught to compete against each other when really we should be helping, supporting each other, which absolutely on Mormon Wives, I believe. Oh, no, it was a podcast where they were talking about Mormon Wives, but they were talking about, no, it was Shelby. It was you. It was
me.
our podcast
What
where
did
you're
I
talking
do?
about male-centered women. It was, here's what it was. It was the Switchblade Sisters episode that I wasn't on. So I felt like
editing it.
Oh, because you were editing it.
You're like, on this podcast I was listening to, it's really good. You guys should
I
check
will
it
feel
out.
like we're real friends on this podcast. It's very parasocial of me, but
I don't think it's parasocial when we are all friends.
no, that's what I'm saying. We just did in that moment, yeah.
Right?
I was like, it was so funny. But yeah, you were talking about like, women who are male centered. They're not women centered. And that's always, I remember telling my brother, don't trust women that don't have female friends.
I hate that I love men. Like, I don't like
always
it.
deserve it.
No,
Yes.
it's like, it's if I could just knock that part of, I probably would have a long time ago.
Yeah.
And, so like, I love hanging out with the girl. I love a good girl time.
We're fun.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we're way fun. We
are.
gossip the best.
We sure
Sorry.
do. And we watch Mormon Wives, okay?
Yes, like when someone
Exactly.
tells me, "Can I be mean for a sec?" I just like
It
my
was like,
body like
sign up.
"Oh." Yeah.
I love it.
Well, but Sammy, does your body do that with this ending? What do you think of this ending? And is this good for her?
Yes. Okay. So the best revenge is to succeed, just like the movie has implied. And what better way than to take control of everything and force him to live as this puppet for the rest of his life? I think it is a brilliant ending. It's so like off, like it's not anything I expected, because you really do expect them to go in and just be like a total like badass, like kind of Kill Bill ending. She comes in and just like kills everybody.
Yeah.
But I love that this is so out of left field. Like, I did not see this coming at all, and she makes him her bitch, just like in This Is the End when he's the gimp for I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
Yes,
Yeah,
no,
like I
yes.
kind of associating
That's
those
the
two
moment
things.
when
That
I
is
was
so
like, oh,
funny,
there's more to
yeah.
Channing Tatum.
I love that. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorite. I think it's such a small role, and it's so funny.
so
And that was
funny.
his peak, just like action guy too. Like,
Yes.
so like out of
He's
left
like
field at
Magic
that
Mike
point. Yeah.
era, you
Yeah.
know, and he's like, you know what? I'll be a gimp for Kenny
why
Powers.
not?
So I think, but you can already tell she had aspirations, of living like the high life. We were shown that she wants to live that sort of lifestyle at the beginning, and I like that she was able to kind of give him a fate worse than death, because now she can do everything to him and he won't know. Like, she chooses to control the situation and prevent him from doing it to any other people, keeping him under this spell. She keeps him in line. It's a different type of revenge, and it's not one like large revenge scene. Her revenge is drawn out for as long as she wants her revenge to be drawn out. And I love that. Like, I love that she's completely, like, this could go on for years if she wants to. It could go on for the rest of their lives if she wants to. And just killing them is only one moment. Like, and then it's done. Like, this is the long con. This is the long con for revenge that you get to feel every single day. And we really don't know, like, how far their relationship goes. Like, he said he wouldn't kill her because she's his best friend. And, like, I think we could, maybe this isn't only the second time that she's gone to the island. Like, we don't know how long this has been playing out because we also don't know how long she's at the island each time, because the time is so strange. And I think, as he said, like, he wouldn't kill her because she's basically his best friend. And I think in a horrific way, he's kind of hers too. Like I said, she's like kind of drawn to him. And it's almost like a dog way. Like, she's like she turns him into her dog.
Her little pet.
And man's best friend, as Sabrina Carpenter says. And like, it's that in that kind of way. And as we've said, like, I've seen so many complaints about the ending, but truthfully, I think it's sort of absurd and ridiculous because it has to be. Like, these survivors who are in, the Epstein and Diddy type situations where they're controlled and manipulated rarely have a happy ending, like, they rarely get to fight back in this way, and they never become billionaires from it. More often than not, no one believes them. They lose everything, their careers, their homes, their lives, their friends, their reputations. I think in this one way, maybe Zoe Kravitz could give the survivors in these types of situations a happy ending that truly isn't possible in real life. And I don't think it's, supposed to be some type of replacement for the justice they'll never truly receive. Because, even if the perp gets jail time, like,
it still
they'll
happened.
probably be let out. Like, look at Epstein. Like,
Jess is still dead, like,
exactly. Like, she can't get that back. All the other women except for Sarah are still dead. And so I just I walked away feeling really vindicated and empowered. And I think justice is rare in these situations. So sometimes you have to take whatever you can get.
That's the thing. It's not her fault that justice isn't real in this case.
No, it shouldn't be on her. Just like it's like what I say is, like, it shouldn't be on Taylor Swift to end the war. Like, like we want all of these stars to kind of come out and make statements on stuff. And sure, it might help, but it's like when, they keep giving me fucking cardboard straws, and it's like, shouldn't the company stop making plastic?
What about the oil war? How about that?
Exactly. And it distracts from the people that do actually have the power to do something about it.
Exactly.
So I think this is good for her. I think this movie as a whole feels good for her, despite the atrocities inside of it that are very real atrocities. Because this feels like an ending that, as we are seeing in real life, when you come forward and you tell people about this, and the FBI is not doing anything, if anything, the FBI and all the church religion, like all the congregate, they're all involved in it. So,
and then you commit suicide, quote unquote. So,
So I unfortunately have learned that saying nothing is usually the better case for some of these women, and this is why we don't talk. It's safer.
Yeah.
It doesn't disrupt our lives the way that our lives have already been disrupted.
Yeah,
exactly.
Well, Shelby, what do you think?
Oh yeah, I'm with Sammy, and also I will say the only complaint I had about the ending was that I wanted to see what happened to Sarah. I wanted to see.
Yes, I wanted to see her at the table, like CEO.
Yeah, at the table.
Stuff.
I was expecting her to be the new presenter because she's like she's an actor, or she's a reality show star and like doing something. I like to imagine she's off doing something amazing,
doing an action movie.
Yeah, exactly.
She got off MILF Island or whatever it was.
Whatever it was called. Yeah, she has her own that she hosts now. Yeah. But yeah, I think that. Because I saw a lot of complaints about the ending, in that I also saw some that were like, this is a problematic ending, because the way they portray his confusion is uncomfortable. Like, it is very like, it's almost, if you didn't know what was what had happened, even knowing, it's a little sad to see. Honestly, Channing Tatum's just such a fantastic actor. This is like really highlighting how great he is, because it was like, it was disturbing to see him so. I can't even, I don't even know how to describe like how he is in the end.
So submissive and like pathetic.
Exactly. Like it would have almost, and you would have I would have thought she would have gone with him being like kind of just like a drooling vegetable, but instead he still like can sort of hold a conversation, which makes it worse. Like it's worse. And I say worse in the best way, because I think this is a fantastic ending. I think the ending was the best part of the escapist fantasy of it all. her getting, all of this, her growing her hair out again because like, not that I hated the bob, but like or the shorter pixie cut, but like
The pics.
clearly
Yeah.
she
feels
cut it for a
empowering.
reason.
Mhm.
Yeah, but Sammy, I'm with you. Like, I had the same thought, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to say it on here because I didn't know how to say it without it sounding awful. But it's like if he had been a different person, I think they would have like been in love. Like
They do.
clearly,
There is a connection there, and it's really sad. It adds to the tragedy of the story.
It is. It does make it more tragic, and I feel like we didn't get to see the other times she was at the island, be it once or more. Even in this one, the whole thing is cast in this haze of drugs and alcohol and being drugged in different ways. But it gives the implication that they've had very serious conversations.
They have.
I mean, part of the toying with her is asking about her nails. Like, he's already asked her about this.
He knows
even
that,
in the way he delivers it, we know he's already asked about this upon rewatch, and he does enjoy that about her, and like he knows these things. Again, this is why I'm like, you sent her back to the real world. You could have like funded all this stuff and like had her be living like her little princess life, and then brought her back. But instead,
like, think about it. He doesn't even have sex with her when she's not, under the influence of the memory thing, or the plant. So it's like, and he has ample opportunity to. She wants to fuck him. So it just goes to show he has no interest in fucking her when she is wanting it, like when she's consenting to it, and that says everything about him.
Of like, when she's not drugged, she's a human and she's my buddy.
Yes,
like,
exactly. She's an it now, and that's easier for him. It's also like, who's to say she cut her hair herself? Like, she got that.
Well,
she was hit in the head.
She got the injury. I thought the same thing. I was like, she got the injury. In the very beginning,
her hair, and she
asks
it.
Alia Shawkat, like, does my hair look okay? And she's basically like, no, it doesn't. Like, but it'll grow back.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, and like, it's just, I don't know. I loved the ending. I thought it was great. Again, my only complaint was just I want to know what happened to Sarah. I'd love to know if, like, I was hoping like there was something out there where Zoe was like, oh, we cut it, but here's what happened to her, and she's doing great. But that's fine, Yeah, but it's totally fine, especially because Sarah was like uncomfortable with her decision at the end.
Yeah,
like
I like to think that
Sarah's
Sarah's just moved on, and she's in therapy and dealing with
She
it.
wanted no part in
it. Like, actually, I don't even want to be your friend anymore. I kind of want to just be away from this.
Well, for the gig to work, for this like con to work, I don't think they can really ever see each other.
That is true.
Again.
Yeah,
that is true. Oh, another tragedy. What a beautiful tragedy. Yeah,
and I also think like it doesn't necessarily have to be like, she could be doing a lot of good with this money too. Like, maybe she's set up shelters for women. Yeah. And I think like, one, she's taken this island off the table because the thing is, if Slater King died, somebody's going to inherit that island and start doing the same fucking thing. And so now she has control of it. She has taken it off the table. Nobody can do this anymore. And she is running shit. And I think I like to imagine that she is going on some vacations for herself because why not? And also, she is doing good with his money that he would be using to victimize women. And it's so, like, I do like that we're talking about them actually being friends and maybe in another world being a couple, because even the worst human being on earth still has some good qualities, and there's still something likable about him. And I love that we understand why she would fall for him. And there's part of us, like, especially when he's having this whole thing, like, we could just go to brunch. There's a piece of you that like wants that because it's just easier than dealing with all the shit that he's done. So I love that she gets to create, like, she's creating the man that she wants him to be. She's ex-machinaing him. You know,
we all want a hot bumbling idiot who's got $1 billion.
Yeah. Well, and I also like that the shoe is on the other foot and he knows how it feels, even if he doesn't understand. His body understands, Yeah. I would die for this ending, we'll say. Let's find out if we will die for the movie in our penultimate category, Die For Me.
Look at her. I would die for her. I would kill for her. Either way, what bliss.
This is a section where we give our final thoughts and decide, would we die for her? I, of course, am dying for this movie. I fucking love this movie so much. I have had so much fun talking about it. And I think it's hard to make a rape revenge movie fun. And movie
and
is.
rewatchable.
And
like, you're like, oh, yeah, I'll
rewatchable.
put
I
this
know.
in. Like,
And
yeah.
I
'cause I
think-
was kind of dreading it because I was like, oh, man,
is it
going
going
to
to be hard? Yeah.
And then I was like, you know what? It didn't get really that hard for me until the end. And there was it really was the Channing Tatum scene, and like where
Yes.
I was like, oh, I'm upset. Like, this is
Yeah.
upsetting.
And it feels like it's told through a female lens because it
Mhm.
literally was, but
is.
also it doesn't feel exploitative, you know,
Mhm.
which I think is
There's no nudity. Like, I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
remember seeing a single nipple,
Mhm.
like, or
Uh-uh.
anything like that. Yeah.
Yeah, there's not a focus on the abuse and the women suffering, but we get enough to know to
Mhm.
really feel it because it is a hard watch, but it's
Yeah.
more of like a conceptually hard watch than like we're actually seeing hard things on the
Yeah.
screen, you know. So yes, I'm gonna die for it. I'm gonna die for Zoe Kravitz and I'm gonna die for Channing Tatum and everybody else in this fucking movie. I love it so much. Make 10 billion more. So, Sammy,
Blink thrice.
blink thrice. Yes, I have
thrice.
told you thrice.
Or
So.
it's the German 3.
The German 3. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yes. Yeah, we're gonna have to cover that movie at some point too.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
Sammy,
Did
are
you ask me?
Yes, are you gonna
Yes.
die for Blink Twice?
Yes, I would die for every woman in this film. Honestly, even Stacey, because like who knows what's happened to her to get her to this point. You know?
Exactly.
Like, if you really are like hell bent on forgetting, that means you have something worth forgetting.
I
So,
agree. Yeah.
So yes, I would die for this movie. I would die for the women. And something I wanted to add here that sort of ties into our last section that Jen was definitely touching on, that I was like, oh, I feel that way too, and I wrote it in my notes, was that clearly the primary goal of what she's doing at the end is putting herself in a position of wealth and power so she has the ability and the means to go after and exact revenge on
Mhm.
men doing this, on every single participant who set foot on that island.
Yep.
Like, imagine if we have the Epstein files and everyone who's on that in that little black book, because there are a lot of them, we could do something about it, you know? And she literally has thousands of Polaroid pictures of every sick guest that came through. And not only that, she does have the
Yeah.
ability to deal like crushing revenge in the most imaginative ways possible. Like, she can affect real positive change in other people's life. Like, I don't know. I feel like at the end when Dr. Rich comes up and those two guys are like on the walkies and are like, we see him, we have him in sight. Like, that's the first guy she's bringing down. Like, he's being pulled away by two guys in suits. So I think it makes it pretty clear that she's, you know, taking justice into her own hands here. And like, you know, she probably leaked photos of him. And I love that we get a little like kind of skosh of that in the end.
Yep.
And like Jen, you were saying, like I wrote down the same thing. Like, she could hunt down every single guest, force them or extort them to like draining their bank accounts into charities or nonprofits that help like sexual assault victims or battered women's housing, whatever. Then she can dose them and they have no idea that they
Love
even
that.
donated all this money. So they wake up and their bank accounts are empty. And,
Yes.
there's infinite possibilities for the sequel, Blink Thrice, I think. Because I would love to see her just popping around, going to Morocco, because I
Ruining
know that's where all
everyone's
of them
lives.
are,
Yes.
and ruining all of their lives. And she could make them confess them crimes so they'd be broke and behind bars. Also, something that we haven't really touched on that I think is worth noting is this drug could be revolutionary if it was used ethically, you know? Like, think about it. There's patients like that, if they gave consent, someone goes through a horrific trauma and can have the psychological suffering completely removed. You know, like maybe have like a nondescript summary of what happened so the patient knows a bad event did occur and then they were administered a drug to wipe the experience. Like, I don't know. I think like there's ways that we could use this.
I would like to forget some pieces of childbirth. That would be great.
I'm sure. I'm sure. But like also know that it's like Eternal Sunshine, where it's like, hey, I signed up for this service and I know I signed up for the service. Like, I consented to having this memory wiped. And I don't know. I think
especially if it's like an accident or something.
Or like I was thinking like war refugees, where it's like
PTSD for
you can
shell
see,
shock.
Yeah, it's like there was a war, you were a part of it, but you chose to
could
get
have saved veterans' lives.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like so yeah. I think that's what I imagine.
Sammy
she's
says
doing.
Trey McDougal is going fucking
Yes,
down.
yes, he is. He
Yes.
couldn't fuck Charlotte.
Yep.
and he's not gonna fuck anybody
Nope,
else.
he certainly
And
is not.
Mumsy is going to hear
Mumsy.
about this.
Mumsy
Yes.
Bunny, yes.
Bunny, yeah. She's in
R.I.P.
she's-
Frances
I just-
Sternhagen.
She's in Golden
My
Years,
queen.
Stephen King's Golden Years.
She
and so
reads
that's what
Dolores Claiborne too.
Oh, really?
She's
Funny.
fantastic. I love her.
Cause a wheel, man. But
Cause a
I'm
wheel,
dying.
yeah.
I'm dead. Dead for this movie. I love it.
Shelby, are you dying for Blink Twice?
Oh yeah, definitely. And for my last little say on this movie, there's a book that I wanted to recommend that I read recently that if you liked us talking about this movie and you like Mormon wives, this is right up your alley because it's a mix of both.
Sorry, I'm
It's
getting
called
Libby out.
Okay, it's called Julie Chan is Dead. It's by Leanne Zhang. She's a fantastic author. I loved this book. I devoured it in 2 days. I would have gone faster, but I had my stupid job to do.
You have a life.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love this.
This
This looks
it's-
interesting. Baru.
Yes, it's so good. It's literally, it's like these.
It's
two
very
movies
Vertigo.
combined. Yeah,
Just
it's
reveal all of my
fantastic.
phone secrets to the world.
I just read the synopsis.
Okay.
That's why I'm like looking at it. I'm like, oh, it's like twins and doppelgangers and stuff like that. I like
And
that
it's
type of
reality
stuff.
TV and influencers and also like it's very good. But anyway, so yes, I would die for it, and I think you should also go read Julie Chan is Dead if you liked this episode and you liked this movie. So, and you like Mormon wives. Yeah.
I like all of those things.
I
so.
do too. So I guess we're all dead. And on
Yes.
that note, let's wrap up with what's coming next.
Unlock the next configuration. And then the last. No. I've done enough. Enough is a myth.
If you want to follow the show, you can do that on Twitter at The Lady K Pod and on Instagram at The Lady Killers Pod. You can find me at Jen Ferratu. You can find me hosting the Losers Club. We are doing a definitive ranking of all Stephen King novels. And you can find me on Murder Made Fiction talking about Chernobyl. And I'm having the fucking time of my life because I'm really obsessed
I
with
can't
that
think
so
of that show without thinking of Jen. So you remind me of a nuclear power
nuclear
plant
disaster.
tragedy. Yeah.
I love it so much.
That's love, you
Yeah,
know?
it really
You're
is.
as bright as a nuclear blast.
Oh, thank you. And fun fact, the nuclear blast at the moment of explosion was just a little bit less bright and hot than the surface of the sun. So
Oh, wow.
I take that as a compliment.
Have you watched that
Dang.
new documentary on I think it's like
Fukushima?
Nagasaki? Yeah.
Oh,
Or
no,
it's-
but we
I
are
haven't
going to
watched it
cover
yet.
it.
Yeah.
We're
Okay,
gonna cover
I
it.
haven't either because it's in Japanese, I think, or
Mhm.
it's in a foreign language. So I know I have to be I can't be second screen.
Present,
I gotta be
yeah.
there. But it's about the tsunami that hit the nuclear power plant.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
and
right.
how they literally they built a wall for 20 feet, but it was 50 feet, so it wasn't enough. And they
There was that
knew
one
it
woman
wasn't going to be
that
enough.
one woman who stayed behind. There was a woman
It's
who
crazy.
stayed behind, and
It's a crazy story. So I haven't
Well-
watched it yet, but I saw it on
Yeah, I'm excited to
dabbled
watch
and looked
it.
into
Yeah.
it. I know Shelby is my documentary bitch.
Yeah.
I go to her for all my doc suggestions. So check that one out, even though I haven't checked it out.
And then check out the Murder Made Fiction episode on it because we are going to cover that
Yeah.
as part
And
of
it'll
our
probably be
nuclear
out by the
disaster.
time
But
this
it probably
one
will.
comes
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Well, Sammy, where can we find you?
As always, you guys can find me at SRK Doll on Instagram, on Letterboxd, and on Twitter, and running the socials for the Losers Club and for this podcast that you're listening to right now. I have been ending every episode with a little suggestion of what I've been consuming, and hint, hint, we might have a different platform and soon to be able to do that
Maybe.
on. But so I've been just talking about Love Story a lot, right? And
Mhm.
we know Ryan Murphy is Ryan Murphy, okay? But I also watched all of The Beauty, and
Ooh.
it was actually really good. And if you can, so I love Evan Peters. I'm a big Evan
me
Peters
too.
girl.
Yeah.
And he's basically playing an FBI agent, and he's really rugged and like, oh, like there's a couple sex scenes that he has that I was like, ooh, really, really hot.
That reminds me of his character in Mayor of Easttown. Oh my God.
He is this exact
forgot he was in
character.
that.
It's literally this character. And so
excited.
I know everyone says it's like a Substance knockoff, but it's actually based off a book that was out before the Substance. So that made me feel a little bit better. It does Ryan Murphy at times. Okay. If you
Ryan Murphy gonna Ryan Murphy.
You
know?
exactly. Okay. You're going to see some stuff that maybe is a little rough. But I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Mike and I watched it week to week. It's finally over. I really hope it gets picked up for a second season because it ends on kind of a cliffhanger. So I know that they're kind of doing that. So the beauty, it was really good. Loved it. And it was really, and it's right up our alley of feminine rage.
No,
so,
I haven't had like anyone actually tell me I should watch it yet. So
I've enjoyed it. Ashton Kutcher was actually like surprisingly pretty good in it. There is a line that is really kind of chilling that he says like, you know, if you're beautiful people can get away with whatever they want. And it's like I'm, you know, paraphrasing.
Like how Ashton Kutcher might have murdered his ex-girlfriend.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, look at the camera and like, but like, it has so much to say about standards of beauty, FDA stuff, like the way that we administer drugs, and it's really good. I really liked it, and the way that they change is pretty intense. Like I was surprised at the body horror in it. So if you guys liked The Substance, and you like Ryan Murphy, which I know a lot of people don't, I would say check it out.
Yeah. Nice.
That's
okay. I'm definitely gonna
now.
watch that.
All right, Jen, it's a good background watch for you. I think you could write and watch it. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Shelby, where can we find you?
You can find me on the Scary to Sleep podcast every week and the Bloody Disgusting podcast every week. They're both very, very different.
Yes, they are.
They are very different. Yeah. And I feel like there's more, but that's it right now. Yeah, go to those.
I'm just distracted by all these images of the beauty. Isabella Rossellini is in this?
Yeah, she's the mom. She's incredible in it.
Our queen.
She's
from
a bad
Death Becomes
bitch.
Her.
in this.
love
And
her
there's an outfit like it's like Death Becomes Her because it's a thing that you take that makes you your best version of yourself. But like it's not like a younger version of yourself. It's literally like the ideal version of yourself. So people look entirely different.
I mean,
some people can change their like everything, like race, you know, it gets
what?
You know, you'll see. Yeah, that's just a little tidbit.
All right.
It's really good, you guys.
This is the best selling point I've ever had for the show. Like
don't like go into it thinking you're gonna watch like, you know, an HBO show.
It's not
like,
Chernobyl.
no.
You're saying
It's very campy.
I've watched enough Ryan Murphy over the years.
Thank you. Like
yes.
I'm glad that you will know that, so I don't have to give.
No.
It's very
don't
nip
worry.
tuck coded, because there's so much plastic surgery aspects to it. I dug the fuck out of it. Like I was waiting for every Wednesday night because I was like, the beauty tonight. So watch it.
Amazing.
Sweet. And that's our episode on Blink Twice. Thank you so much to my esteemed panel and listeners. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like this episode, please give us a quick rate and review on Apple Podcasts. Helps people find the pod. It makes us feel good. We also want to hear what you think about this episode. Unless you're really mad at us, I'm good.
Do you hate us?
Yes.
Are you mad at me?
I mean, yes, we want to hear your thoughts. Yes. Watch me roll my eyes when I say that. We really do.
I think everyone's mad at me. I wonder
think
at what
everybody's
age
mad at
I
me too.
won't feel perpetually in trouble.
Never.
But one day I'll get there.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
That's what
Someday.
therapy is for.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do want to know what you think. And have you seen The Beauty? Did you like it? You know?
Or are you going to watch it after my suggestion?
Exactly. Yes, because I definitely am. You had me at Evan Peters because I love him.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to be back next week with another Eat the Rich title, and we are going hunting with The Hunt, which I have not seen, so I'm excited.
You haven't?
I haven't
I'm
seen it
excited
either.
Too.
Yeah.
What? And we'll be showing you're not on this one.
I know. I won't be
Well,
here
watch it
next week.
anyways.
I know. I'll watch it anyways. Yes.
Yeah.
But until then, remember, ladies and ladies, support women's rights, support women's wrongs, and
Brunch. Brunch is real. Brunch is so fucking real.
Brunch is